Hi everyone, it's what do you think of Thiago? What do you think of Thiago? Plays 5 minutes injured. What have we been saying about him? What have we been saying also about the lads? Our fans saying, yeah, it'd be great when he's fit, it'd be great, put him in. And we turned around, the lads, myself, and said, he's not match fit. He's not match fit. He's been out over a year, or just about a year. Comes back, 5 minutes. What happens? What happens in that 5 minutes? Gets injured. Gets injured. I'm going to bring the lads in right now. I'm going to bring in Daryl. And there he is.
Thiago! Oh.
This is great. There's Lee. Hiya, Lee.
Yeah. No surprise to see him injured again, but I won't have anyone talking Thiago down. He's been brilliant for us, a shining example for all. Shut up, you. Shut up, Frank. He's been a shining example to all our young players with his fitness and everything. When he's been training, they've learned loads off him, but he just
you're telling me to shut up. Right, okay. Yeah, you're telling me to shut up. Do you know that Navy played more games than Thiago? He's been with us for 5 years, for God's sake.
I'll bet he did.
I know he did. It's in the stats.
Thiago's a dead loss, isn't he, mate? I always give them time and go, nah, he'll be all right eventually, but he just isn't, is he? And hasn't been and will never be. What is and what will never be is Thiago's fitness. There's a Led Zeppelin song called that. What is and what will never be. And that thing is Thiago's fitness.
Well, look, what were we saying in the summer? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. That's what we were saying. Get rid of him. He's on over 200 grand a week. Doing what? He's a stretcher bearer. That's what he is. He's the richest Red Cross fella on the planet. That's all he is. He's a stretcher bearer. And Paul Turner says, evening, Frank. Hope you're okay. Thank you, Paul. Yes. Angry. Frustrated. Not with the Arsenal game, but this fella coming on, playing 5 minutes and out again, injured. And I'm feeling raw, even if Frank Lee, Big G, and all the pints there, all the shorts, everything.
I think I need 20.
It'll be great, won't we? And I think Keita and Thiago are related, says Paul Turner. But you see, it's... as Jay says, I know Jay, it's not Eminem. His hair implants is failing. Something's failing. He's got Weetabix legs. It's just stupid. It's so annoying. And he's not match fit. You've got to question Klopp there for bringing him in. Give him a little bit of match time.
If I'm honest, they should have threw him out in January, mate. They should have said, you have to go away. You cost too much every week. Piss off.
Exactly.
Said, go to Barcelona. So Barcelona mightn't have given him as big wages, but that's where he's at home and that. And it's sunny there. So when he's injured, he can be warm and that, you know what I mean?
Well, okay, let's have a go at this. I'm going to go in these little comments here. Thiago says, I'm feeling wrong. Versus Arsenal, and he gave the ball away, sums them up. I want a few out of the squad come the summer. I'd like you to name them, Anfield. Obviously, you've got the likes of Matip. He should be gone as well. You know, he's come to the end of his contract. Yeah. We can't afford to renew his contract. he's out for the season. So it's more rehabilitation. Just imagine him and Thiago if they renew their contracts. It'll be a process of rehabilitation and another year older.
Time to get rid of the dead wood, isn't it? Time to get
Yeah.
rid of the expensive dead wood. I mean, Matip was a free and he's been good, but I've had enough of him now because he's been injured loads. The thing for me with Matip is when Van Dijk was put out for the season by Pickford, where was he that season? He started 6 out of 38 league games and he only completed 3 of them.
Yeah.
Where was he that season is my question, when we needed him the most.
We needed him the most in the Champions League final, and he gets injured. And my point is this, Klopp plays an half-fit. Remember, he has all the injections, an half-fit Thiago, yet there's a fully fit Navy. I couldn't understand that at the time. There's a couple of things in the Champions League finals. When he played Karius, I never ever fancied that Karius. Never in a million years fancied him in Kiev when we played Real. And when he got picked, I went, no. I know he was the downfall of Liverpool losing that final.
Can you remember, Frank? When 2 minutes before kickoff, Thiago had to withdraw from the 11, didn't he?
Yeah.
If I'm brutally honest about Thiago, I'd rather never hear his name again. I would rather he actually broke his leg now rather severely and couldn't even get near the ground again. I hope he freaking breaks it and that's the last we hear. No, I do, because I don't want to hear of him again. I'm pissed off with him. I don't want him nearly fit. Break your leg, mate. F off.
Don't hold back there. Don't hold back, mate.
That's what he can have.
I need you for tomorrow morning. I need you for tomorrow morning for the film day show. And I just had a message off JK. He'll be a little bit late, but he'll be joining us right away when he gets in. Soulboy, let me go through these. Soulboy Fran, evening boys. Alonso will play himself in when he comes in instead of Thiago. I think put up a better show, to be honest.
Well, Thiago's been doing these injuries properly. He's getting muscle injuries. He needs to break his leg in half so the bottom half falls off. Doesn't he? And then we'll never see him or hear of him again, hopefully. He can get it sewed back on or something but we do need half his leg to fall off so we'll never hear of the toe rag again.
Alonso give him a new deal in the summer. Couple of years.
Well, okay. Let me go through all these. There's just a few. Just let me go through them, please, without interruption. Alain, Thiago is the club mascot. You can't let him go. Do you know when you see an army, and the marching and these festival things, and you always see a goat or a dog, you're being led. They're the mascots, and I think Klopp will have him led out, Thiago on a leash as a club mascot. And let me go through. Paul Turner says, I couldn't believe the news this morning. He was only on the pitch 10 minutes. It's frustrating after he's been out for 10 months. And Anfield Raw said, more need to go. And I said, well, name them. Name who you think should go. And he says Thiago, Matip, Elliott, Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, Carvalho, Elliott. Well, he's mentioned Elliott about twice but Carvalho. And if he doesn't step up, he can sod off too. Gravenberch, if he doesn't improve by January next year. We need pace on the wings. Whoa. Okay, I'll be coming back to be asking you about these. I'm more bite in midfield. He carries on by saying Anfield Road. Paul Turner, I've lost patience with him now. He's damaged goods, and there's no benefit to the current team. Frank Shagar, has more appearances than Thiago, says here, Mick. And Soulboy, you don't mean that Lee loves Thiago, really? No,
I
he's
know, I was only joking. I don't want him half his leg to fall off. I want to get a gun and actually shoot him.
You can't be.
Yeah, I want to get a rifle and wait for him to come out of the AXA training centre and just like pop him in the head, like, and finish him off, like, just to,
You get me banned. You get me banned. And I'm feeling said, well said, Lee. Go on, lad.
In a bore now, the Thiago thing, mate. Only last week I was saying how much I like him and he's good when he's fit, but like I'm tired of saying things that I don't really mean. I don't think I really meant it. Someone egged me on. It was on NFC Transfer Room's live stream. I was saying it, and I sort of meant it. But I was cajoled into typing it.
But he's on 200. He's on 200 grand a week, right? He hasn't played in a year. He comes. Now, don't forget, how many games has he played in 5 years since and how many goals has he scored? Can anyone come out and tell me? In 5 years, how many goals has he? I don't know. But, if there's anyone's out there, can anybody tell me how many goals Thiago scored?
2, I think.
Now, the thing is as well, Darryl, I was watching something today, what Thiago was like, right? And he was brilliant. But there was not one clip of him playing for Liverpool. You see him playing for Barca. You see him playing for Bayern, but not one clip of Liverpool. Now, why is that? Why is that?
I remember him doing one good thing for us where he dummied someone and ran off with the ball. That's the one good thing I remember, and that was it.
Well, that wasn't shown anyway, but it was absolutely dreadful, And as Paul Turner says, if he was a horse, he'd be shot. I think he would have been shot the first time, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think someone else shot him. Yeah. But anyway, getting back to the weekend and the Burnley game. I've just got a message. Hang on a sec. I don't know whether it'll be relevant.
Thiago was a horse. He'd be in those 99p Iceland microwave meals, wouldn't he? Now,
horse meat.
I don't know. Hasn't it angered you, really? Or is it more frustration or anger?
It's a mixture of both. Frustration at his lamentable fitness record and anger at the money he's on.
That's what I mean. It's angered me, the money. It really has.
£7 million he's earned.
What did you say, Darryl?
£7 million he's earned at Liverpool.
You're watching the telly?
No telly on, Frank.
Well, what are you looking over there for, slyly?
I'm always looking over there, but it's my... I suffer with anxiety, so it's...
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm all stressed out over Thiago.
Yeah, I've got depression again now, even badder, 90% worse than what it was.
Ross says, he has always been injury prone since at Barca, lazy Bart, he says. Always injury prone. And if Alonso comes in, all Klopp's favourites better watch out, like Elliot and Robbo. I was that's a good, Ali's, he stole me thunder there about Robertson, to be honest. Now, be honest, Lee, and be honest, Darryl, would you play? Now, all right, on paper, we should beat Burnley, no matter who we put out. Would you play Robbo? Would you play Robertson anyway, Lee?
Against Burnley?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think Robertson's finished. All right, he's taken his time to get back to... Well, of course he's going to. He's been out for how long? How long's Robbo been out? 2 months, 2.5 months?
I don't know.
So he's taking his time. Yeah, the only way he's gonna be the only way he's gonna be fit is to play, isn't it? I don't think he's finished. K-Mac reckons he's finished, or that we shouldn't play him for a while until he's had more, I don't know, reserve games. K-Mac thinks he should play it. But
well, I might be a little controversial here, but I'm going over to Darryl. Should he play against Burnley? Robertson?
No, I'd stick with Gomez there, to be honest with you, for now.
Right, Gomez is right-footed.
Yeah, but he's been playing left back, hasn't he? And he's been brilliant now since he's come in.
What, defending, but we never score much, do we, from that side anymore with him playing left back?
Do you play Bradley now?
He's rubbish for attacking.
Yeah, maybe, but as you're talking about Robbo, I don't.
Go on, Darryl.
With Robbo, I don't think, to be honest with you, Frank, I don't think he has got much left to Liverpool, if I'm being honest.
No. Well, they're my sentiments, actually, because, as I said, I might be a little controversial to some, but I think Tsimikas is better than him. But then again, with Gomez, the way he's been playing at left back, I'd just keep Joe there. I really would just keep Joe there. Now, he's 30 now, isn't he, Robertson? And I think he's burnt out. He's burnt out over the last few seasons, running up and down that wing. I always remember Marino when we stuffed United down here 3-1 or 3-0 or whatever it was. And he said, all as I see was Robertson going past me, but wait. That's all that I see.
Yeah.
In other words,
Tsimikas might be better as the wing back if Alonso takes over. If Alonso takes over and plays wing backs, Trent and Tsimikas might be his men. So Robbo might not be the man for Alonso, and Elliott might not be a consideration for Alonso. But then again, he might be in the number 10 along with Szoboszlai. Who knows? Who knows what's going to go on when Xabi arrives, if he arrives? Because I mean, there's a literal preponderance of possibilities manager-wise, and there is a veritable plethora of possibilities formation-wise. There's just so much that could be going on in the new era.
Okay, what about you, Darryl?
Oh, what with the change in the summer?
Yeah,
I think we got the base of the squad, but as it is, which Klopp's going to leave, obviously. But for me, there's still question marks hanging over the three boys who still only got 18 months left on their contracts. You need to really look at that now, and think if them boys don't sign them contracts.
Yeah,
we could be looking at a complete overhaul of overhaul of the squad in the summer.
Okay. I think, with Alfie Rory, we said he'd like to go. I agree with him, I totally agree with him, because we need to, I know it sounds daft, saying it now, where we're top of the league, and, we're still in everything. We're in a cup final in a couple of weeks, within a cup final, for God's sake. Yet, we still need to strengthen the side and get rid of the deadwood, the likes of Thiago, the likes of Matip, the likes of Rhys Williams. And one of the, let me just go through these, because I want to get back to Cavello, okay? Let me go through these. Soulboy, what do you think about the blue card sin bin coming in? Always messing around. They just love being the star of the show. What do you think of that?
Ridiculous, if you ask me. 10 minutes sin bin. This isn't rugby, it's football.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nuts. It's just absolutely nuts. What they're doing to the game. It's pathetic. It's not football anymore. I don't know, bloody hell.
They're making too many changes, aren't they? Like
too many.
Messing with that game.
And Anfield Road says for Liverpool since 2020-21, he has played 63 games and starts second. Hang on. 63 games as starts. He scored. Blimey. Anfield Road. For Liverpool, he's talking about Thiago here, by the way. For Liverpool since 2020-21, he has played 63 games. As starts, has scored 3 goals and 4 assists, and them goals and assists were last in 2021 stroke 2022 season. Bloody useless, he says.
Well, his
That's
debut, his debut was a bit of a sign, wasn't it, Frank? His debut where he got injured.
Yeah, do you remember that?
It's on his debut. Carried off on his debut and not seen a game for 3 months.
Okay, I'll go straight to you now, Lee. Lee says Robbo does nothing most of the time. Occasionally he performs and people start banging his drum based on that one game. That's a cracking comment. Lee.
I like Robbo. I'm a Robbo fan. I think he's still got
We
more.
all like him, but we do come to the end.
No, I think he's got more to go. I think Robbo's got 2 years left in him, myself, like. But I could be wrong. It's a game of opinions, and everyone's opinion is valid. That's what I love about the internet. Everyone's opinion is valid. If people think Robbo's finished, that's fine. I just don't think he is. I think he's got another 2 years, myself, like, under a new manager. But we'll see. We'll see soon enough.
Well, that's why when I asked you, would you play him? I asked Darryl first, and he said, no, I wouldn't play him. You said he'd play, you'd play him against Burnley. I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him personally. I've got nothing against the lad. I really haven't. It's not that I've never liked Robertson. I've always thought he's been brilliant. But I've seen him, during that last season, he was awful.
Do you not feel we're a smidgen disjointed with a left footer at a right footer at left back and a right footer on the left wing also? As good as he's been defensively, we're lacking something going forward when he's on the left back all the time on his right foot coming in and having a crap shot that never goes anywhere near goal. Go on, Joe, shoot, have another crap shot that doesn't go anywhere near goal. Do another crap cross that doesn't go anywhere near anyone's head. Do something else crap that doesn't do anything.
I don't know what you're going on. What are you going on about Gomez for?
Gomez
we're talking about Robertson. If you like Robertson and you want him in there, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him there.
Robertson's crosses do actually hit somebody on the head sometimes and go into the goal. You know what I mean? Gomez never do.
His assist the other week was phenomenal. His assist.
Yeah, that was on the right, when he was on the right.
He can play everywhere, mate.
Yeah, that was when he was on the right.
Oh, yeah, look, he's getting a little fucking angry head on here.
Yeah, it was when he was on the right. We moved him to the right and he got an assist immediately. Did you not notice that, everybody?
We're noticing you with your little angry head on. That's what we're noticing.
Come on, he's crap at left back, Gomez, mate. Get him out of there. He can defend at left back, but he can't.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. We want a defender. Samikas is a better crosser of a ball, and he can defend. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Anfield Road says, I watched Yabby's side of the weekend. I must say, he is no fake coach. This guy is the real deal. If we do not get him, it will be a travesty. The style is exactly what our team needs. And I said exactly the same as what Anfield Road said. Now, I'll go to you, Lee. What do you think of that comment?
Yeah, he is the real deal. Xavi is the real deal, I think. Xavi is the real deal. And he's exactly what we need. And I can't wait for it if it does happen. If it's somebody else, it's somebody else. But if it's Xavi, I can't wait. But we haven't got to wait long.
What about you, Darryl?
Yeah,
Would you agree
as
with
I said,
Anfield Road?
oh, 100%. If you look at Xavi Alonso in his interviews and stuff, he only mentions Liverpool in his interviews as well. Don't mention any other club, but his passion for Liverpool is so high. His ceiling at the moment is so high. If he wins his next 2 games, he sets the record ever in the Bundesliga for most wins.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big Joe Gomez fan, but Joe's a defender for me. He's good at right back, standing in for Trent, but I'm not having him at left back. He can defend at left back, and he's good there when we're winning. But when we need to beat teams over a long stretch, he's okay there for a few games, but I don't want to see him there long term at left back. No, thank you.
No, when Tsimikas is fit, he'll be back. He'll be our left back, crossing the ball for heads. You're saying?
I can't see Joe Gomez as left wing back for Xabi Alonso, mate. Can you? Left wing back. Do you see him as a left wing back?
We won't know what Xabi will want, to be honest. We don't know what system.
I'll tell you now, we won't be playing Joe Gomez as a left wing back in a 3-5-2, mate. I'll tell you that now for nothing.
Frank, can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
To be honest with you, Frank, at the end of the day, Tsimikas and Robertson have been injured. We've had no option but to play Gomez there. And Gomez has been absolutely fantastic. And for me, he's right up there for player of the season for me.
Yeah, of course.
Right up there.
Yeah.
I don't know where this bandwagon's come from, Lee, mate.
He's been phenomenal. He really has been phenomenal. And everybody except Lee, of course.
Get some WD-40 on that door, Lee.
Yeah, he won, innit? I quite like the speak from that door, though. It adds mystery to the room.
Right, anyway, Minerals FC. He's an Arsenal fan. He's jumped in on us. Big up, lads. Arsenal fan here. Who's better, Rosenthal or Thiago? Better midfielder. Are you talking about Ronnie Rosenthal?
Yeah, Ronnie Rosenthal, definitely Ronnie.
Oh, he was brilliant, Ronnie. He was funny, Ronnie Rosenthal, because he just put his head down and ran. He didn't look half the time like it just made it dead funny, but he was productive sometimes when he just put his head down and ran.
Well, he missed a sitter. Remember that sitter? There was no goalkeeper on the line. There wasn't a player on the line. He was about 3 yards out, and he hit it over the bar. Remember that? It was the worst miss in Liverpool history until Nunes a couple of months ago when he missed that goal. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was that green Carlsberg kit as well, wasn't it? Remember?
Yeah. Oh, it was I thought Ronnie wrote, but that's the miss in the history of Liverpool Football Club.
I prefer Titi Kamara.
Well, yeah, Anfield Road. Yeah, you're getting the sun back up here. He says Ramos still got turbo charges. I think that inverted left back crap ruined him. But he's still class. I don't think any of the top 4 have a better left back. That's what Anfield Road says. And Soulboy says, I seen an interview with Alonso where he said he was gutted he didn't win the league with Liverpool. Maybe unfinished business there.
Yeah, he's coming.
And yeah. And if the likes for Frank's play, thank you. says Anfield Roar, please hit the likes, and if you haven't subscribed. Do you know what? I keep saying this every week or every pod. And I don't know, no one knows. I go on I don't mean football pods, I go on other pods, political and whatever, other social issues. And they're saying that they're taking down subscriptions. Say, like, if I subscribe to, say K-Max channel, subscribed, and then bang, K-Max channel, it comes up, I haven't subscribed. You know what it says, like, subscribe to it. And this is what they're doing. They're taking out the subscriptions. And there was one political fella who said it's because of their algorithm. They want to see who's actually looking at. But with subscribed, people who subscribed, they're already there. They're already in place. Or they could have just went away and not be there. So they're making sure that the people who have subscribed to different channels are still there, still looking at YouTube. That's what he said. So, like, I had a lot, and the next, it was all dropped. And I thought, I wonder if it's because of Lee, with the swearing and everything else, and going to laugh every 2 minutes. I'm only joking. Thanks, Alfredo.
YouTube is irretrievably broken for some strange reason. I was discussing it in a chat box 2 days ago. One of my favourite streams is Trigonometry with Constantine Kissin and Francis Forster. And I was just saying, you're not even allowed to mock stupid people on YouTube anymore, or your comments go missing. I left a comment that was a work of art, mate, about someone's stupidity, and they deleted it. Do you know what it was over? I was mocking someone who said that McDonald's was supporting Israel because the McDonald's logo was white and blue. And someone in America said, that looks like the Israel flag. And I left it was about a 30-word comment mocking their stupidity, and it went missing. And I just couldn't believe why it was. All I did, I never mentioned anything about politics. All I mentioned was how unbelievably stupid this person was, but I did it in nice language, a lot of long words and that. And it was only about 20% plagiarism, from stuff I've read. And it went missing. And I'm telling you, mate, if you're not allowed to laugh at other people's stupidity anymore online, then it is broken.
No, it's I pulled someone up on some pod, some political thing, and they're all talking about freedom of speech and free Assange. Well, can I finish, Lee? Does it all the time. Anyway, I was on someone's pod. It was a political thing. And I only put on, a very small comment. That's all. And it wasn't offensive. It wasn't anything. But it didn't go up. And I said, then I got back. I said, freedom of speech, eh? Freedom of speech. I said, you're going on about freedom of speech. And on my show, my history show, I have free Assange every week. Every week I have it on. Simply because that man is in jail for nothing. He's in jail for telling the truth. He's in jail for the publication that was given to him. And he's in jail, and he could die in jail. And it's wrong. It's wrong. So I said about freedom of speech. I said, where is it? I said, I've just put a comment up. And they got back to me by saying, oh, it wasn't us. It must have been YT, YouTube. And I'm saying, no, it's you. It's you, to their moderator. I said, no, it's you. One of you have deleted my comment. And it wasn't offensive to anybody. It was just that I disagreed with what one of the panel said.
Out now is that if you use intellectual words to mock other people's stupidity and it looks good, because it didn't just sound good, it looked good when you read it, that they don't like it. And I wasn't even necessarily defending Israel or Jews. I wasn't saying I defend Israel or Jews. I was just saying this person is so stupid, it's unbelievable. But I said it in a lot of words and a lot of nice language, and they wouldn't allow it. So, I mean, why would I defend Jews? They're not my people, you know what I mean? Although I like Jewish authors.
I don't think anyone can defend what they're doing, though, Lee. I'm being political there.
Well, the stream I said it on, he's a Jew, Konstantin Kishin. He's a comedian. He does a good stand-up thing about Jewish Nazis and black Nazis, gay Nazis. He's a funny guy, but he says that about the internet. You know, it's knackered now. But
all right, well, let's get on. Let's get back to football. Because Anfield Roar says, Will's kid says, I'm sorry I'm late. Anfield Roar, Lee, love it. Go on, lads, speak the truth. Let's give Elliot a good kick and two. Neil Broderick, Gomez is versatile, play multiple positions and does a good job. Thank you. He does. I said on someone's pod that he's... don't forget Spurs wanted him, you know. And I said he's the most versatile player in the Premiership, and he is. Any of the back four positions he can play and do it well. Alonso, the only unbeaten manager in Europe, says Neil Broderick. The only unbeaten manager. Anfield Road, very true, Big J on Alonso point. He is a loyal Liverpool fan. And Lee, you're spot on with Gomez, point bloody utility player, says Anfield Road.
Yeah. Attacking's not Gomez's strength, I have to say.
Yeah, no, I will get back to you, Anfield Road, Neil Broderick, Soulboy, and Ian McHale. But here's one. This fella might go, you see. And he's that Arsenal fan. Minerals. Frank, question for the lads. Worst Liverpool player you've ever seen? Go ahead. Darryl.
I'll let Lee go first. I'm just thinking.
Nicky Tanner from like about 1992. He was centre half. He come through the ranks or something. We bought him from, I don't know, Warrington or someone. And it was when Souness took over and we had like Torben Piechnik and other similarly awful, abysmal players. But we had Nick Tanner at centre half and he was woeful. And I don't want to be cruel to the guy, like, you know what I mean? It's not his fault.
He's a lovely fella, you know. I know
Yeah, that Souness put him in the team. But I just remember he had some average games and we were really bad. I remember I woke up in my mate's flat, hungover, and looked at the paper and we'd had a really bad result. And it was just, I felt awful because I was hungover and I looked at the paper and Liverpool were in an awful state. And it's just a really bad memory. I think I was like 18 at the time.
Well, the worst player, I know, Lee, you're going on there about Nicky, but there are worse players than him, believe you me. And I go back. I remember getting an Arsenal player, actually. Bringing in an Arsenal player. Kenny brought him in. Now, you might remember this. You must do. Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I remember Jimmy. I was watching him the other day.
Yeah, but Lee, that's it. What about you, Darryl? Who do you say is the worst? I've got a couple, actually.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, right. My worst player, get this, Alberto Aquilani.
I'll leave our Italian players out of it.
That's mine, mate. I've never seen a shitter playing all my life.
Do you mean from the point of view that he had skill but didn't show it?
And also Jordan Ibe as well.
I'm talking from the point of view that like Nicky Tanner didn't have much skill. Aquilani did have skill.
Do you know where Jordan Ibe's playing? Who Jordan Ibe plays for now?
Go on.
Ebbsfleet United.
Really?
Yeah. Conference League.
One of the worst players was Sean Dundee.
I love old Shawnee boy.
Sean Dundee.
Yeah.
Eric Meyer.
Absolutely dreadful, that man.
And Eric Meyer, Frank.
Yeah, well, you know, and lots of people liked Meyer for some reason. I think they just liked his name because it was fun.
And no,
what about Ismail Cosme? Do you remember Cosme?
I do, yeah.
Can't remember him.
I do.
Can you remember? Souness signed him.
Yeah.
I think it was Souness. It was Souness, wasn't it?
It was from Dunfermline.
Yeah. I think he was Hungarian.
He was.
I seen him. He got the ball and he brought it down. Brilliant. The ball came over and he brought it down. This is when we first seen him. And he brought the ball down. And as he turned, he passed it to the ball went to like one of the opposing forwards, and he ran away and scored. And that was him. He was finished after that. First touch, useless, absolutely useless. Do you remember Letalic?
Yeah, but scored a good goal against Chelsea.
What?
Scored a good goal against Chelsea.
Yes, yeah, that was Bruno Cheru, though.
I'll tell you who else, Frank. I'll tell you who else. Salif Jow. Salif Jow, what a load of shit he was.
Yeah, well, that was Julia, wasn't it? Seen him playing well in the World Cup, and he brought Salif Diao and Doof.
Do you remember? Do you remember what Houllier said about Salif Diao when he bought him? He's going to be my Patrick Vieira. That's what he said. I shit you not.
What about Jay Spearman, who's automatically become a legend? Jason McAteer, he was useless, him.
Yeah, shit.
McAteer, self-professed. He's a self-professed legend.
I was watching Jimmy Carter speak, not play. I was watching him speak on LFC TV a few days ago. Because remember, JK was saying there hasn't been any Indian footballers because JK's Indian, like Indian heritage. Well, Jimmy Carter was half Indian. His dad was Indian, I think. And there was Michael Chopra for Newcastle. Was another one. But there hasn't been many, has there? Indian footballers. Lots of black footballers, but Indian play. It's the same with not many British Muslim players, is there? But in France, Zidane, Benzema, but you don't see any British Pakistanis, do you, in the England team? But in France, you've got Benzema, Zidane. I mean, you've got so many, haven't you? Wish we had British Muslims who were good at footy. We'd be a boss team, man. If we had Zidanes and Benzemas. But they like cricket more, don't they, you think?
Yeah.
Indian thingies.
Can we carry on with this thing?
There's only one Lee Coulson.
Right, something. Frank will come on next week. Yeah, brilliant. Sort the info out. And we'll have you on whatever day. Be great to see you, to be honest, on Field Road. Neil Broderick bagged a ticket for Wembley. That's great, that, isn't it? At least someone's. Jeff Goulding got it as well. You know, he was lucky in I believe someone told me. He was lucky in the ballot. And I'm made up that Neil's got it. Because Neil's a good red, you know what I mean? He's a very good red.
I can't get tickets anywhere.
I know.
He phoned me up. He phoned me up a while back. He said, "Come on." He said, "I'm taking you to the match." And I said, "What part of the ground?" And I said, "Is the stairs there? I can't climb stairs." And he said, "Yeah." And he just wanted, he's done it a few times, but I can't climb stairs, unfortunately.
Oh, Frank, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
It's not football related, but just a quick question. Did you get your cost of living?
I don't know. What cost of living?
Well, cost of living payment.
I don't know.
Well, you're over 65 now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You should get it then.
Okay, well, I'll have a look to see if I am.
Have a look in your bank.
I will do. I will do. Thank you.
Ask JK when he comes on, Frank, about. I can't remember who knocked India out the Asian Cup, but India went to the knockouts, I think. But it's not that big a sport as it is in, say, North Africa, is it? And I think that's why we don't have that many Indians or Pakistanis in football in Britain. Whereas, like in France, when Algerians, Libyans, Tunisians, Moroccans go and live in France, they want to be footballers, but not a lot of Indians. Unlike
We had a Muslim lad. What was his name? He opens a restaurant in Bowl Street here. I think he was no, he wasn't Egyptian, or he's something, whatever. Whether he was Algerian or Libyan, I just don't know. But we had him, a few years ago. So.
Oh, I know who you're on about.
Was it that seed or someone like that?
Jan de Handa.
That's him.
Jan de Handa.
Yeah. That sounds like a seed, doesn't
it? Yeah. Jan de Handa.
And what about that other lad? There was another lad as well. He was bloody awful as well.
Asaidi. Asaidi.
Oh,
he was Moroccan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There was another lad, and he only had a short name. Oh, he was terrible there. Anyway, let's get it. Soulboy says, Gomez missed training today, so Lee, chill out. You won't see him Saturday.
Well, I was hoping to see him at centre-back, if I'm honest, like.
And Ian McHale, Ronnie was boss, wasn't he? Helped us win the league in 1990 with all his goals. Ronnie Rosenthal.
Ronnie.
He wasn't the worst player that we ever had. Oh, that's done that. Anfield Road, Ronnie Rosenthal was never out injured for 3 years and stole money from our club. Sods off, Thiago. Like when anyone goes to work, if you're not in, you don't get bloody paid. Sods off. Loompa. Sods off. Ronnie perfect hat-trick at Charlton, right foot, left foot, header. And who else did that? Right foot, left foot, header. Who else did that for the hat-trick?
Fowler?
No. And you will know, and you'll go, wow.
What was the letter begin with?
C.
Not Titty Kamara.
No, not Titty.
I love Titty. Who is it?
It was Peter Crouch against Arsenal. The athlete.
Oh, yeah. Should have got that.
What is like? I thought you football fan.
Fucking, I should have got that.
Anfield Road. Frank and Lee's back and forth tonight. Funny. I can finish, Lee. Can I finish, Lee? Oh, he never shows all the time.
Jesus.
Sorry, mate.
Where's JK? Where is he?
Oh, Lee. Sorry, Frank. I've got a question for Lee.
Sean Dundee, I win. And Ian McKay get onto this one. Forgot about this fella. Worst Liverpool player for me, Paul Konchesky. Horrendous. Do you remember this man? Remember his mum
Okay.
when she wrote to Liverpool Football Club about all the fans picking on his son? He was awful, and he's not. He's a nice lad. She said.
He scored against us in the FA Cup final.
He did, yeah. Well, it was a cross, wasn't it? Really,
Yeah.
that went in. Be peppy. I don't know what Hodgson and his. He was dreadful, Hodgson, and his buys. Joe Cole, remember him?
Oh,
He
yeah.
was awful.
Abel Xavier.
Oh,
The
yeah,
list goes on.
yeah. Frank, were you there when Souness was gaffer? Yeah, of course. I've been here for years. I go back to the Shankly days, Minerals. I go back to the Shankly days, fella. I go back. Jimmy Carter, Soulboy, or Sean Dundee? I'm feeling on Jimmy Traore. Jesus, he was. Do you ever remember he played Burnley?
Yeah,
And,
well, bloody
and
no.
the own goal he scored was on the line. And I said he should never play for Liverpool again. And there he is playing in the Champions League final. You couldn't make it up.
That's what he's famous for, Frank. He's famous for being really famous in the 15 minutes that shook the world film.
Exactly. Exactly. That Soulboy says he was all right, Alberto. He just never played. I liked Marino was all right. Did you ever remember his debut, Alberto Marino? Does anybody remember his debut?
I think he's on about Aquilani, Frank.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Soulboy. Leave our Italians out of it. He's a member of my family, you know, Darryl. Did you know that?
He's Soul Boy.
Yeah, no. Alberto Aquilani.
I have a question for you, Frank.
Go on.
Are you related to Robert Carlyle?
Yeah. I went down to see him. I asked Ricky Tomlinson. He was doing the 51st state, years ago. I said, hey, Ricky, do us a favour. Can you get me to see Robert Carlyle? I want to ask him something. And he said, yeah. I went for lunch. And I said, all right, Robert. And he had, I told him. And I said, just one question. You can answer me in one. Are you any relation to Thomas Carlyle, the historian of the 19th century? Charles Dickens' mate. And he said, yeah. I said, so am I.
I was a bit like that because you got exactly the same surname.
Yeah, the very same spelling of the name.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah. So I said, well, we're related along the line somewhere.
God, that's brilliant. That.
Ian McHale, I'm not going to let J.K. Kismet on anymore now because he's being too cheeky, sneaking up. But I was just not. And these are some crackers. I've got some crackers here. Some crackers. But you've got to listen to these lot. I just remember that Milan Jovanovic. Good God, he was horrendous. Ian McHale.
Roy Hodgson, boy.
So right.
Yeah, I thought we'd signed that woman out of the zombie films first, Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mila. Oh, he was a good actor, him, wasn't he? He couldn't play football.
Christian Poulsen.
That was Hodgson.
Yeah, and Christian Poulsen, Frank.
Oh.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Hodgson as well.
We had the best looking footballer on the planet, you know.
Yeah, he was good.
Have you any idea who it was? He was the image of me, by the way. Have you any idea who he was?
That's tough to get then, Frank.
Sammy Lee. He's a funny looking little fella, what he's saying.
I was going to say Jimmy Cranky, but I left that.
No, Nicola Sturgeon, yeah. She reminds me of Jimmy Cranky. Anyway, no, it was that Glenn Hussein and Jan Mulby, two of the best looking fellas we've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Tony LFC. Now then, Frankie, Lee and Darryl. Oh, not lovely. Thank you.
Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Neil Broderick, wish we would have got when he was younger.
Yeah.
If you look at that, go to you, Darryl. Jari Litmanen.
Loved him.
Under Houllier. What did you think of Litmanen?
Oh, do you know what? I thought he was fantastic. Do you know who he reminded me of? The exact same player. Bobby Firmino. Exactly the same.
Yeah, same type of player.
Same. Yeah.
Funny enough, I was at a game, and I was, you don't know anyone sitting next to you, do you? And this fella said, it reminds me of Jari Litmanen. And that was Bobby, when he was playing for us. And I said, yeah, you're right. Now, Jari Litmanen, to me, did you ever notice he kept getting dropped by Houllier after playing brilliant games? He just kept getting dropped. I'm glad you mentioned him there.
He was boss, Yari. He was just past his prime, but he was still brilliant. Yari reminded me of Kenny Dalglish a bit, the way he turned. He wasn't the fastest player, but he had it all in his head. He could read a situation dead quickly and play people in. He was superb, Yari. When he was at Ajax and then he went to Barcelona, he was just past his best when he come here. But he was a brilliant forward, Yari. Really great player.
Well, Soulboy, I'm going to go straight to after this comment. I want him to, if he won't remember him. And Soulboy says, going back a bit, Frank, do you remember Alan Waddle? Yes, I remember Alan Waddle. Do you know what? We've had some great players, but some awful ones. Here's JK.
Okay, everyone.
JK.
You're okay, Darryl. Okay, Lee. How you all guys? Okay. Easy, bro.
I got a message off Jason, and he says he'll sort you out next week.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you'll be sorted next week. He's going to work on us over the weekends, and he's going to sort something for you, for us, for the show, that is.
Yeah,
okay.
Frank.
Cromcamp, yes.
Oh, here we go, Cromcamp.
No, he's come up. Mark Simons, this is what I was laughing at before. Some Arsenal fan came on there, JK, and I asked, who's the worst player that they've ever seen playing for Liverpool. Who would your worst player be?
I would say Kiate.
Who?
Kiate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No one's mentioned. Okay. Jan Kromkamp, and he got a winning FA Cup winners medal in.
Yeah.
Didn't he? When we beat West Ham. Andy Carroll, Christian Poulsen, Ozamar Asidi, that's who he was trying to think of, wasn't it? Paul Stewart, he was useless as well, wasn't he? Joe Cole, glad he mentioned Joe Cole. Loris Karius, never liked him. Dave Kirby, friend of mine, playwright, break up the Mersey tunnels and all that, City Council Blues, brilliant, great playwright. And he met him, and he said, I was crying at the end of the game. This is in Kiev. And Dave said, and I've seen a lot of kids crying, you prat. That's what he said. That was his answer. Right, sir. He said, I was crying. He said, I've seen a lot of kids crying in Kiev, you prat. That's what he said.
Can you remember the 2 Spanish boys we bought, Frank?
Sorry?
Can you remember the 2 Spanish boys we bought under Rafa as well? Antonio Nunes and Hosami and Nunes.
Yossamy.
Shit.
And you've seen him, don't you? You see Yossamy, I'll never forget it, on top of the podium in 2005 in Istanbul.
Yeah.
With the flag.
Both Nunes boys, Benitez boys.
I watched of a game the other day from when Rodgers first took over in whenever it was, and the front three was Ousmane Osaidi, Stuart Downing, and Danny Pacheco. That was the front three. Osaidi, Pacheco, and Downing was the front three. And that
I'm trying to think of it. A younger, he's only young midfielder. Oh, I forget his name.
Aspas?
I can see him. Hey.
Iago Aspas?
No, not Aspas. He was Spanish. This lad was like a North African, around, an Algerian or a Libyan.
Alzar, Nabil Alzar.
That's him. That's the lad.
Yeah.
Absolutely useless.
Yeah.
All as I seen him do was run around. And I said to this fellow, well, is he ever going to touch the effing ball there? He was running around. He wasn't even asking for the ball or anything.
So go ahead, as well.
What you say?
He weren't much cop, was he?
No.
Davidengo.
We all love a little tittle, says Neil Broderick. Tally old Frank, dear boy, Gary Rich. Gary.
I like Gary.
TW, evening all. Alfred Roth, Torben Peachnick. He was so bad, didn't even get included.
Oh my God.
Didn't even get included in the
Torben Peachnick. I think that's the worst one, Frank, yet. That's the worst one.
Oh,
or Kavama. Bjorn Kavama was crap as well.
Kavama, yeah. And he was playing for the Legends.
Yeah, and he's scoring goals in it, and he's brilliant in the Legends games.
You just couldn't write the bloody script, could you? But that was a cracker by Anfield Road there. He wasn't even. Yeah, look. Bruno Sherry was crap, I mentioned him, yeah. Jean-Michel Ferry. Yes, you remember Ferry?
He was Julier's first signing, mate, and he was atrocious. He was the worst, that Ferry fella. Would have been better off signing the Channel Ferry.
We've had some bad players, man.
He says Bruno Sherry was crap too. Jean-Michel Ferry also. Andre Veronin and Antonio Nunes. Again now. Oh, this is shocking, but he's right there. Anyone see David James on The Chase? He's a clever lad.
Yeah, James was quite bright, yeah.
Never seen it. I've never seen it. Ronnie Rosenthal was crap, says TW.
God, everyone's on the Ronnie bandwagon, aren't they?
Soulboy, they had him. Lazar Markovic and Iago Aspas. Yeah. Do you ever remember Markovic, Lazar? Remember him? Do you know how much we gave for him at
Played
the
for
time?
Serbia, didn't he?
Do you know how much we gave for him?
Like one decent goal. I was in the pub with my brother in like 2014, and I remember jumping up and shouting "goal" in like an exaggerated, phony manner for my own amusement, because he'd scored, and that was it. That's all I can remember of him.
Oh, I thought you said when, I remember Razor in the pub. I thought you meant scoring in the pub, with a young lady.
No, just Lazar Markovic scoring, and I jumped up and did one of them. It's a goal.
JK, you there?
Hello there, Frank. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Do you remember Markovic and how much we paid? Well, you wouldn't remember him. I think you're too young for
No,
him.
Markovic, I think Markovic, we paid 15 million, didn't we, for him?
20.
Yeah, 20 million.
Oh, yeah.
20 million we paid for him then, going back
them
all
days.
those years ago. It's like paying 80 or 90 now today for a total dud.
No wonder I jumped up when he scored.
We sold Aldo and brought in Rosenthal and Speedy. Do you ever remember David Speedy?
David Speedy.
Kenny's biggest mistake for me. Jimmy Carter was a big mistake for me as well. TW says that Speedy, David Speedy, he was a narc. Did you know that? He was horrible. He was horrible. Whether in the dressing room, on the fields, outside, he was a horrible, horrible person. Speedy.
Yeah.
Horrible to everyone, by the way.
I'll tell you who else was a big mistake, Frank, as well.
Hey?
I'll tell you who else was a big mistake.
Who?
Charlie Adam.
Oh, he's a bleeding legend as well.
Yeah, and he was awful.
They're also professed legends. Yeah. And he plays for the legends.
Yeah. Makes you laugh, doesn't it?
Right, I could never pronounce this fella's name. Peggy Bottoms. What a goal. He got lashed, didn't he? Was it him or that other fella, goalie? I was at the memorial, I always went up to Anfield, and he was laughing in the crowd, and he got chased. What's his name? Forget his name.
Adam Bogdan.
No, it was a goalkeeper. There's someone out there who'll know him. And he got chased. He chased him. You know what I mean? Out the club.
Liverpool keeper, was it?
Yeah, the Liverpool keeper. He was at the memorial. As I said, when the players came out at every memorial under the air.
What, in the same era as Paddy X-Fan?
Who?
Was he in the same era as Paddy X-Fan?
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, what's his name? I forget his name. He's got one of those mad names, you know what I mean? He was a black goalkeeper, black lad he was.
Oh.
There's an A in it.
He weren't the one who went to Swindon on loan, was it?
I don't know. But anyway, it could have been him, actually. Could have been.
Yeah. Can't think.
I had a nan called Peggy, or Peg. Margaret Peg.
Auntie. Okay. Let me go through these. These are funny, These are funny. Soulboy says, Brendan's Panic by Mario Balotelli. Do you know him? Rodgers, I don't like him. I don't even like mentioning his name, to be honest. Know about him. And he denied, someone mentioned it to him about Balotelli, Mario. He said, I didn't want to buy him. On the telly, he said this, I didn't want to buy him, And a couple of weeks later, Steven Gerrard had a little article in some paper. And he said, Brendan, he must have heard what he said, you see. And he said, Brendan Rodgers broke his back trying to sign Mario Balotelli. So who do you believe? Rodgers or Stevie? I believe Stevie. Anfield Row says a little, is that Speedy? Yes. Yes. Redbird. I said they should have sold Thiago last summer. Thank God we're getting back to football. Now we ain't getting nothing. When someone came in for him, I forgot who it was. Klopp said no. Soz can't blame FSG for that. PS, I love Klopp, but we said it before, Redbird. We said it, didn't we, lads?
Yeah, but what's JK got to say now? Because JK was on the wagon for Thiago before.
Yeah.
Weren't you, JK?
Yeah. Can't predict the future, bro.
That
I feel sorry for him, man. Yeah.
There's that goalkeeper, Charles and Tangi. It was.
That's him.
Right. Thank you, Ian McHale. Thank you so much. Love you for that.
I remember that name now.
Yeah.
You got chased, horrible fellow. And Anfield Rose replying, what do you think of Thiago, JK, and his latest injury after 5 minutes or 10 or 5 minutes, whatever it was he played?
I was actually I'm just disappointed. I was just thinking, you know what? Let's see what he can do from now until the end of the season. When I read the news today that he's out again, I was like, I think it might be done that situation. It's disappointing for him as well, you know. He probably wanted to play football again for us, you know. So all in all, really disappointed with that.
But the point is, I made this point last week, JK, if you remember, when fans were saying, oh, he's ready, he could be ready for the Burnley game and all this. And I said, I wouldn't play him. He's not match fit. He's been out. He's never had a pre-season. And people are talking about Gravenberg, saying, you know, give him a chance. He never played last season. And he's only trying to get up to match fitness. Yet, they're saying, oh, bring back. Can't wait for Thiago to be back and play him right away. Put him in. It's like young Betetic. They're saying, oh, wait till he comes back. He'll be the same. He won't be match fit. You've got to play.
You can write this season off. Yeah, for Bacetic, for me. I think with Thiago, I was like, no way, he's not ready to start against Burnley. Even Andy Robertson, I wouldn't start against Burnley, realistically. So,
Lee.
Whoa. He was saying, and Lee was swearing, you know, he was swearing, getting up and running the toilet and everything else and coming back. And
JK.
Oh, it was terrible.
If Robertson don't start, yeah?
He said, Robbo, anytime over Joe. He said, you can't have a right footer playing left back. Do you know what he said? He can only defend. He can only defend.
He got an assist the other week, Lee. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. A right footer shouldn't be playing left back. You know what I'm saying? That's not he's an emergency, that was. So for me, what he's done, he's actually done all right when you look at it. But
when he got an assist, it was at right back. He took him from left back and put him to right back, and within 2 seconds he'd got an assist. So therein lies the difference for anybody who knows football.
He's my player. He's my player of the year for me, JK.
Yeah,
Gomez for me. Yeah. You know what he's doing? He always puts a shift in. You know, but as Lee was saying, for me, I want my fullbacks to be able to cross the ball from the sideline. You know, I want my left-footed left back to be a left footer. You know, so we can understand that part.
You've got Tsimikas though, JK. This is what I mentioned, and Tsimikas to me is a better crosser of a ball than Robertson.
I agree.
He's a better crosser of a ball. It's as simple as that.
Lee's gone now, Frank.
What?
Lee's gone now. He's not. He's sulking.
Yeah.
Well, I apologise, Lee.
Definitely. Just because JK come on and said, I don't want Joe. I want Joe playing at left back. He's got to come on. Anyway,
For this game, especially because I think the Gomez has done okay at left back, but I'm actually missing our fullbacks getting assists. If you understand my point.
yeah. Well, as TW says, just shows you, Frank, we need to get the next manager right, or we will end up with more crap players. And it could be, it could be. You've got to look at the owners here, boys, and I'll tell you for why. The owners are penny pinching. And as I keep saying, I'm looking at the new stands. Fine example. They penny pinched on bringing proper, construction company in. And yet they went for the cheapest option, who were in trouble financially, and that was Buckingham. I said it at the time. I said, what are they bringing these Cowboys in for? They can't even finish Fulham's Craven Cottage up a stand there, and they're bringing these in. So it was penny pinching, and I was proved right. So what I'm saying, we still haven't finished it because they've got a skeleton crew on. Skeleton crew. The cladding still isn't finished. That's an absolute disgrace. The cladding. Anyway.
You know what tickled my lips about the company being called Buckingham is that Buckingham is sort of associated with royalty and assumes an air of elitism.
No, you've got due diligence. Come on.
Well, yeah, but the only thing Buckingham turned out to be elite at was going out of business. So being called Buckingham was quite funny to me. Anyway, I'm quite infantile like that. I look at a word and go, Buckingham, all right, that's the royals. That's like big business. Oh, right, there are loads of crap. It was a rip-off company. Oh, that's funny.
But look, I'm trying to give it an example. These are penny pinching. So they go for the cheapest option. And I'm talking about a new manager. What if they're interviewing top managers, and Xabi was one of them, and one of them was crap, who'd be on less money, a lot less money.
Yeah.
Would they pick him? I think he would.
Because this is what I'm trying to say, Frank, is people know now how much money FSG have got. They've just plumped $1 billion into golf.
Yeah, I don't know.
We know what they've got, Frank, and they're lying to their backbone.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Because, people saying about FFP, financial fair play, that's a load of bollocks, that, because if you're looking at that, Liverpool can afford, look, the money that's coming in from Liverpool, you've got to match it, haven't you? This is why Manchester City are in trouble, and however they're working it, however they do it, with great lawyers and everything else, and saying, well, this is what we've spent, and this is what we're selling, and this is what's coming in, which is a load of nonsense anyway. As we know, as fans who know a bit about football and a little bit about financial fair play as well. We can afford anybody, and we can spend 250 million, I'm talking about, on a few players. We can afford that. I always remember FSG paying $242 million for a baseball player for Red Sox. $242 million. Think about it.
You were going to say for a baseball card, then?
No, they've got a player at the Red Sox who's on £1 million a week.
There you go. Who do you think's paying for that? The Red Sox crowd, or the Red Sox merchandise?
Probably the merch, Frank, over there. Probably.
It's our merch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's our merch.
Yeah.
I'll get banned now.
Frank's angry.
Redbeard says, Anfield Road, another sick note millionaire, Klopp and co-signed. Mark Simons, Charleston, yeah, laughing at the memorial, well, nudging, yeah, Damien Plessis, that's right. I was there, but I didn't know anything about it because you're not, and then you get home and you watch the telly and, it was...
I'm surprised they didn't do him real damage.
TW, them bloody Yanks chose Rodgers over Klopp. What a job. And they did. They did. I don't like this fella. What's his name? We were talking about him the other day. See, I just forgot his name simply because I just don't want to know him. You know that, like, the director. What's his name?
Will Spearman.
No. Is it
Hogan?
Who?
Gordon.
Hogan, is it?
Mike Gordon, is it?
Yeah, Mike Gordon or Billy Hogan.
Yeah, no, it's Mike Gordon. Another self-appointed, I'm a great man, look what I know about football. I mentioned him the other night. And the 12th man said, we Americans do know. I'm not saying that, but, that young lad was good. I liked that 12th man, but, as regards as people, Americans, who hadn't a clue about football until these took over, comes in and say, look, what a great job. No, I don't want the likes of those people. And I'll say this again now, before we get any manager in, we need a director of football.
Yeah, we need a director of football big time, don't we? We need a sensible figure.
I'm gonna go straight to JK here because he's hardly had a word. Redbeard says, heard rumours Liverpool have contacted Alonso. Anyone know if that is true? JK, you heard anything?
Well, in Germany, the rumours are, like you'll see in the news on the trains and stuff, Klopp's name, Alonso. So all in all, I think when I go back to the day Klopp's interview was when he said he was going to resign at the end of the season, they did an interview with Alonso on the same day or the day after, and you could read from his body language he wasn't really comfortable with the questions, and I'm thinking he's already had been contacted over that position, so maybe even earlier than would be expected, because I think the owners have known since October, November time, so maybe they have contacted Alonso in that time, so I would think Alonso is the choice. Maybe it's a choice by us fans, I'm not sure, but I think there's already been contact made there, Frank.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that they've contacted him anyway. Someone came out and said if he was offered the job, he'd grab it with both hands. No hesitation, no nothing. He'll just grab it, just say, yeah, I'll have it. I want to be Liverpool's next manager. And I think it's see what got me as well, and I think we discussed it the other night, was a communique from FSG when that Gordon fella, and he said, we're not going on emotion, we're going on data. Remember, we discussed it. Now, emotion does come into it, but emotion and data is the only unbeaten manager in Europe, is Xabi Alonso. So if the data comes out, K-Mac said, if this data is true, what he wants is data, that De Zerbi will get the job because what he's done, And I said, he's been crap this season. And he said, no, he said, it'll be over a few seasons. And now he's changed. Brighton over.
Frank, with the data thing you was on about,
Yeah.
There's really big rumours saying that if they're going on data, Diego Simeone's got a big chance of being Liverpool manager.
Don't want Simeone,
Oh,
mate.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Data.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to Simeone.
I don't like him as a person, and I don't like his
No.
football. If he came to Anfield, I'd give up. I'd stop watching, mate. I literally would. I'd stop.
I would as well, to be fair.
What about you, JK? And I know that you want Klopp. Sorry, I know that you want Xavi. But what if someone else came in? Do you think there'd be a danger of Liverpool stagnating?
I'd say the guy needs a personality. I don't want no guy to come in who hasn't got a sort of personality. You know, I think Klopp's personality was a main driving force within the players and stuff. So I don't want the guy, like people were saying Zidane. I'm like, no, the guy don't talk enough for a club on our level, you know. For Real Madrid, perfect, you know, but I think Liverpool's a sort of different type of vibe at the club where we need the manager to be a bit talkative, have a big personality, and that's what I like the guy at Tottenham. I think he's got the stature to suit the Liverpool job. De Zerbi, I don't know enough about him, but all in all, I've heard he's finished in 8th position in sometimes and stuff, and I think Potter was Brighton look better under Potter than they do De Zerbi. I think they look more easy to beat with this De Zerbi guy. Okay, at Liverpool, he'll have better players, of course, so you can look at it in that way as well. But all in all, I just feel that the guy needs to have a personality if he's going to take the Liverpool job.
That's a good point, actually, because he has to. And Xabi Alonso, I was in Castle Street one day, just while he was playing for Liverpool, and I went into Cafe Nero, you know, for a little cup of tea, not coffee, cup of tea. And as I'm sitting there, I'm looking out the window. It was like it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and there's Xabi just pulls up, and he gets out with his wife and 2 children. And I said, I'm going over to there, shake this fella's hand. Went over, and he was dead polite. He was so nice.
Yeah.
And his wife even loved
it.
His wife loved
that way.
Sorry, what you say, Lee?
He comes across that way, Xavi, as when
he does. He does. He's a really nice fella, and he don't forget, I did mention, I'm going back ages as well, that it was when he was playing for Real, and when he was playing for Bayern as well, both teams where he was playing for, he kept coming over to Anfield and going to match. And he said, didn't he? Someone asked him, what he called it, a journal, sports journal, and said, well, he said, I'm a Liverpool supporter, and if I get a chance, I've got time, I'll just fly in and then fly out. That's what kind of a fella he is. Xabi Alonso.
He couldn't look any less like his brother Marcus Alonso, could he?
No.
He don't look any. Marcus Alonso looks more like me, big nose and chin, sort of thing. Like, but Xabi Alonso's more petite looking, isn't he? Like, probably like the mother. Marcus Alonso's got a big chin and a big conch like me.
Yeah, but I do like Alonso's aura. I think he's got this like level of professionalism about him, you know. He's played for 3 top teams, Real Madrid, Bayern and Liverpool, and I think when you just look at him as a guy, he just looks like a nice guy. So I think, yeah, in that way he suits Liverpool.
Well, Redbird says here, boys, I'll go straight to you, Darryl.
Yep.
One of our creators yesterday, Thiago, is the only world-class player Klopp has signed. These fans need help. They are totally deluded. In the few games he played, he didn't have many good ones, in my opinion. Right over to you, Darryl.
You know how I feel on this. What a load of rubbish. What a load of rubbish. The only top-class midfielder Liverpool signed. The Klopp, are you joking me?
Yeah, that's what he says.
It's okay. I don't want to comment anymore on that one.
No,
JK.
I think Thiago's. Yeah, I just feel that Thiago is the one who we've brought, who's actually done everything, nearly everything. Won league titles, won Champions Leagues. Most of the players we've brought have been guys who have not really won everything, and they're not really brought in as world-class stars when they've come into the scene. That's what it could be. I think people might misunderstand that. I think Thiago is the one guy we brought who's been there, done it.
Oh yeah,
Because when you look at because when you look at Salah, Mane, Virgil, they all came from teams like Southampton, Roma, you know, so they haven't been like world-class guys. Klopp's made them into world-class guys. That's the difference there.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, actually. I think it's a very good point.
Yeah.
Let's see what the other lads are saying. Boys, do you remember that goalie who ended his career? Says Ian McHale.
Who ended his career? Whose career?
Boys, do you remember that goalie who ended his career? Unless he hasn't. Hang on, let's see. He carries on. Doing the iron, Michael Stensgaard, Dutch goalkeeper he was.
Yeah, I remember the name. Yeah, I do. I remember the name, but the incident doesn't come easily to mind. But I do remember the name, Michael Stensgaard.
I'm staying with you. All right. Lee.
Yeah.
Mark Simons. I just hope Bradley comes back for Burnley and give Trent a rest. What do you say to that?
I'd be looking at them both playing then. Actually, I'd be looking at them both playing perhaps in that match. Seeing as how Sobbers lies out, I don't see why not.
That's another mad thing, isn't it? You know, Sobbers like. What do you say, JK?
Judging on Trent's Arsenal game, and also on Bradley's situation, how's he feeling after the bad news and stuff? So I think Klopp will have to sort that out, well, tomorrow. Well, he's probably even sorted out. So we don't know. Does anyone know about the Bradley situation? Has he come back?
Players
for me,
back to fitness and form without playing.
He will be back, you know. I think he'll be back now, you know, to be honest. Because his poor dad was buried today, wasn't he?
Okay.
And I think he'll just fly right back.
I was talking about Trent, actually, when I said players can't get back to fitness and form without playing. I'm talking about Trent.
Yeah.
How he's meant to get back to fitness and form if he ain't playing, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think the Arsenal. Yeah.
Go on, Jake.
I was just surprised. Not surprised, but I just think the Arsenal game was a game too quick for Trent. I'd start Trent on Saturday if Bradley isn't 100% to start, you know. But I think it's true. Trent needs game time, you know. I would even play Trent in midfield. Why not?
Yeah.
Burnley. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing Man City. We're playing Burnley. Come on. So why not just try mix it up a little bit?
4-4-2.
Well, I think Lee meant that. I think Lee meant that. You know, we played it too. Go ahead, Lee.
A 4-4-2 with Jota and Nunes. Notter and Judes up front.
Notter and Judes.
Yeah. Notter and Judes up front. Notter and Judes up front with Trent and Bradley on the right and Robbo and Diaz on the left. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. You know, as I said, on paper we should thrash these. And I think, you know, with the defeat against Arsenal, I think the lads, you know, will be up for it anyway. They'll be up for every game now. That's in my opinion. Again, I think he can experiment now and just start Trent in midfield. Let's see how he works. Just playing in midfield right through the game. And if we have Bradley, you know, it'd be fantastic. If we have Bradley at right back. But then again, if Bradley, you know, is too emotional, Klopp will know if he's too emotional. Because remember when his mother died, Klopp's man.
Has it been a week since Bradley's dad passed on? A week?
Yeah, but he got buried today. He was at the funeral.
Yeah.
So
Maybe Gomez plays right back then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Bring Robertson in left back, throw Joe back to right back, and then still have
Trent.
Trent in midfield. Still have him. Because
I think.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Frank, the combination of Trent and Bradley on the right hand side is actually pretty good when you really look at it. Two quality players, and against a team like Burnley, I think it's a no-brainer for me. I think if Endo is ready to play, start him as the GM, McAllister on the left, and Trent on the right.
Well, Mo's back as well, and Mo's
okay.
He's fit.
Okay. Nice.
So you never know.
Can I just drop my team out, Frank? I'd like to see Alisson, Gomez at right back, with Quansah and Virgil, Robertson at left back, Endo and McAllister in centre mid, Trent on the right wing, Diaz on the left wing, Jota and Nunes centre forward. It'd be a 4-4-2, and I'd tell them to fill their boots and try and score as many as possible, because they've got their goal difference right up by ours now, and I think that could potentially score like 5 or 6 goals, that team.
Yeah, I think we should go all out against them, to be honest. Let's kick off. I think the grounds is going to be full capacity. I think they're coming in for that.
About time, yeah. I think you were saying, Frank, earlier on about the stadium not being finished. There's parts of the side missing and this and that. And I think I just feel the whole situation of the stadium thing was a bit of a mishap. I think the company they actually chose to do it already had problems with Fulham and stuff. So I think a bit more homework should have been done with that stadium topic. And I hope they've done their homework when they're going to pick the new sporting director and manager as well.
Yeah, this is what I tried to give that example before, JK. Okay. You can't go out. Look, when I read that about, we're going on data rather than emotion, I think he was getting at the fans, because the majority of fans want Xabi in. The majority. That's the emotional stuff. And I think it was a little sly dig, to be honest, at the Liverpool fans. No emotion, it's going on data. But if you go on this season's data, he'll just walk through it. He'll just walk in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Xabi.
Yeah.
If he's going on,
he's top of the league. He's on top of the league, undefeated. He's going against Bayern Munich, who brought Kane in as well. So I think Saturday's the match, isn't it? Bayern against Leverkusen. Yep. So let's see who wins that one.
Okay. Well, he's the only unbeaten football manager in the whole of Europe.
Yep.
The whole of Europe, not just in the Bundesliga. But anyway, I'm going to go through these wonderful comments, and then we'll get back. I don't know where I've gone to. I hate doing this, Pepe says, imagine if Alonso comes in and FSG actually back him. Now that would be a conversation. Absolutely. And Soulboy says, that was Redbird. I think Trent, says Soulboy, has to play against Burnley. He needs match fitness, and Bradley wasn't in training today, so can't see him playing. That's a good point. Frankie boy, most of the money Liverpool make gets spent on John Henry's wife Linda's boobies. And there's John, the Midnight Toker, Billy Hogan. That's when we was saying Billy Hogan. Yeah, bloody Hogan.
When he did the press conference with Klopp that day, I just felt like we were back in, like the Dallas Dynasty days. It was like that sort of vibe. Like he's gonna come in like an American accent, strong American accent, and I'm thinking, like, how much do these guys actually know about football? FSG, for example, could John Henry name certain members from our old days? Could he? Certain questions like that. I always ponder that. I think business-wise, yeah, good businessman. Don't get me wrong, but I think, do they actually know anything about football?
Yeah, but people say they do. People say they do. I was getting told about a lad. He went down. He was desperate for a job, and he said they only need mechanics down the road. Oh, I'm a mechanic. Whereabouts? So he goes down. It's not a joke, this, by the way. Sounds like a joke. And he goes down. He said, I believe you're looking for mechanics. He said, yeah, how long have you served? He said, 9 years, done my apprentice and everything else. And about 3/4 of an hour later, he goes up to the other mechanics and goes, where does that go?
Okay.
He just looks over and he laughed. He says, yeah, but they were different cars. Well, I was an apprentice. And he wasn't, you know what I mean? He was just bluffing. And this is the way some people are about football, unfortunately. I think it's the Americans, to be honest. But anyway, let's get back to the footy. The mechanical footy. TW, I have everything crossed for Alonso coming in. And Tony says, only popped in for a minute. Hope you're well, Frank. Big hugs, my mate. Thank you, Tony. Cheers, mate. There's the X's. Come on the X. Come on the X. Thanks, Tony. Redbeards, I've started seeing Alonso in my dreams. Make it happen, FSG. And there's his press. Great lads, aren't they here? I have a feeling if Alonso and his team come in, our injury list will be a hell of a lot shorter, says Redbird. I only mentioned that today. I gave a talk today. I had to go up to McGull and all these lovely people, and I gave a talk about Jack the Ripper, to be honest, and it was. But I gave that. Some fella said, "Hey, Frank, it was just a lull." He said, "Are you the blue or the red?" I said, "Oh, I'm a red." So I've got a podcast tonight. If you want to come on and YouTube, said, "Oh, don't go on that." I said, "Oh, okay then." Anyway, he mentioned about injuries, and you think it's training because he was a red. You see, he was older than me. And that's saying something. And I said, yeah. I said, he said, well, if a new manager comes in, you might see a lot of, non-injured players and more fitter. And that's what Redbird's saying there. I think that's a cracker.
It'd be great, won't it, if that is the case, that the new era is less injury heavy because the way we play is slightly different. That would be nice, that we don't have as many injuries.
Look who's just called. Look. Big Mac. Yeah, he wouldn't join us tonight, would he? Big Mac. Great lad. Do you know that the Arsenal lad, Minerals FC, who says who's the worst player, and everyone we've talking ages, who's the worst player. Should have said who's the best player that we've seen, but that'll be too easy. I'll ask you, Daryl, and I'll go to you, JK, because who's the best player you've seen play for Liverpool?
You me first?
Yeah, okay. No, yeah, you, Daryl, yeah.
I don't have to think, really. Mo Salah for me, yeah.
Mo Salah. JK?
Okay, live with my own eyes, I would say Suarez.
Who would you say, Lee?
John Barnes. It was Barnes and Beardsley together, but Barnes was just that little tiny bit better on the eye.
Okay, I'd say I agree with JK. Suarez, best player ever to put on. Sorry?
I'll change my mind.
Who?
Gerrard.
Suarez, yeah.
Steven Gerrard. But he's the legend, you see.
Gerrard or Alonso. Alonso, then, if I've got a pick.
Luis Suarez was, in my opinion, the greatest player ever to throw on a red shirt. I'm being honest there. He was phenomenal.
He was quality.
Unbelievable.
It's age related with me. I saw Barnes and Beardsley when I was in school, and that was the first Liverpool team that I fell in love with. I'd seen good Liverpool teams before that when I was a schoolboy, but that team was something else with Barnes and Beardsley.
And there's K-Mac Channel. Big up Frank and the panel. I love that. I love that. And Minerals, I'm going to go straight to you, Lee. And don't go on about it. Don't go on about it. This is a straightforward question. You know, say why. Frank, mate, would you replace Salah with Doak or Bowen? I know I'd replace him with.
Well, Bowen of the two, with Bowen being left-footed.
JK.
Out of the two, it has to be Bowen, but I want to see Doak sort his Liverpool career out, smile a little bit more, you know, and concentrate on actually playing football. I think this year's been another waste for him. He's injured now since a long time, so but out of the two there, I'll take him Bowen.
Bowen. Okay, see, and I think that's a straightforward question. But what you've got to have now, it's not like now, is it? You know, whatever, who would you replace Salah with? Because, you know, what he's, I think, hinting at is that Salah will be leaving at the end of the season. Bowen will be a year older, and he's about 28 now, so that makes him 29. I'd like that lad, he's about 24 now. He's got an unpronounceable name.
I'm ready to go, yeah.
And he plays for Napoli.
Carlyle.
Oh, all right. Are you posing now, Lee?
I know what I want.
He watches all Russian films and Lebanese films. That's how he gets all these names.
I know I want, Frank.
Who?
Bakayoko from PSV.
Who?
Bakayoko from PSV.
Oh, Bakayoko, yeah.
That's who you real deal, mate.
Yeah.
To be honest, Bowen
I'd go with him and Neto.
It's only because the question's Bowen or Doak that I said Bowen, but Bowen ain't on my list for mo replacements.
I'd have said Doak anyway.
Well, there's a breaking news there, lads. Redbeard, breaking news. We signed 2 players on a transfer deadline day, Notte and Junez. I hear they are very good.
Very good. Yeah.
Getting right at you there. Right at you. Soulboy, Allison, Trent, Quansah, Virgil, Robertson, Jones, Endo, McAllister, Diaz, Jota, Nunes. That's his team. Soulboy Fran. And John says, Jack the Ripper, a.k.a. Springhill Jack. Springhill Jack went for 100 years. I'll do a lecture on him, actually. And I'll just put this in a nutshell. Springhill Jack came from a family of trapeze artists and acrobats. And that's how he could jump from one roof to another. He was an incredible, but they were jewel thieves. They were thieves because circuses back in the 19th century were paid awful. But anyway, I'll do a lecture on that. And do you know where he was last seen, boys? Have you heard of Springhill Jack?
Yeah. Know all about it, yeah. It's a good story.
Do you know where he was last seen?
Accrington or somewhere.
Do you know what? That was a brilliant answer. It wasn't there, no. Shall I tell you where it was? St. Francis Xavier's Church
Oh, in Liverpool?
in 1912. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep. Well, now you know. That was his last thing.
Isn't he buried near me?
Sorry?
Isn't he buried near me?
Who, Springfield Jack? Here's K-Mac.
No, Jack the Ripper.
Oh, K-Mac, I didn't even know you were there.
K-Mac.
Big up,
I
guys.
didn't know you were there. I just seen
Isn't,
you.
Salutations, K-Mac.
Isn't Jack the Ripper like? Isn't like his relative like Ted Bundy?
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't
Yeah,
tell
it's
you.
weird.
Because,
There's a weird link to the royal family as well. Jack the Ripper.
yeah. Well, that's the Duke of Clarence.
Yeah.
See, I gave my particular lecture. I bring certain suspects in, and I grind it down to one. Now, they know who Jack the Ripper was. They know who he was. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about the establishment. And why the establishment? He makes money, believe it or not, Jack the Ripper. See, I say, you've heard of the likes of the Yorkshire Ripper, and they say, yeah, I said, do they make films about him? Do they make, about the two Nielsen's, the Black Panther and the other cop who kills other people? I said, all our serial killers, that's it. That's it. They don't do anything because they know who they are. With Jack the Ripper, he's mysterious and he makes a lot of money for the economy because they make films, they make documentaries, that he's always written about, everything. And yet they know who he is, but unfortunately they won't give it out simply because of the economy, believe it or not. And that's the way it is.
I'm big into all that stuff as well, like all of that history and bloodlines.
Oh, you're into it, yeah?
Yeah, big time, like big time.
Yeah,
I got into all that stuff big time during lockdown.
Well,
I'm in Oxfordshire, Frank.
Sorry?
Is he buried in Oxfordshire?
Who?
Jack the Ripper.
No, he's buried here. He's buried here.
Who's the one buried in Oxfordshire?
Oh, that's you're talking about the Bisley boy. Are you talking about the Bisley boy?
No, someone's buried in Blaydon, in Oxfordshire.
Are you talking about a serial killer or someone?
No,
You
just
talk
someone.
about Yorkshire Ripper.
Oh, the Yorkshire Ripper. Oh, so no, I thought wasn't he cremated?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? I think they cremate them now.
Yeah,
Do you reckon the Yorkshire Ripper's linked to Jimmy Savile as well?
Yes.
There's all kinds of mad stuff, like.
There is mad stuff.
There's all kinds of mad stuff. Yeah. So the Jack the Ripper, he's buried in the US. You're in the US, aren't you, Frank? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's links to like Ted Bundy. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
See, the links are. I'll tell you what it is, and it's a girl named Florence Maybrick who's American. She was an American, married to a Liverpool man. She got done for his murder. She got, they were going to hang her, but the Americans went, oh, you can't hang an American citizen. And he said, well, she's just murdered her husband, and that's our law. And he said, don't do it. So anyway, it was commuted to life. And she went back, she wasn't deported to the States, but she went back to the States. And that's how the link is, or what you're trying to say is, if you know what I mean. But there's loads. And I'm made up of what you said about, there it is. Suarez, the best ever.
I watched Suarez against Norwich. Jesus Christ. What a player.
Lisa Morgan. Oh, she's lovely, Lisa. John Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes was, I only seen Barnes when he moved into midfield, like centre midfield, so I kind of missed the winger Barnes, which it was incredible. Like, Have you you probably have, like, but I'll say it anyway. Have you heard the story about Inter Milan signing the wrong player, signing Luther Blissett thinking it was John Barnes?
Yes.
Have you heard that story?
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why they signed him from Watford? Yeah. They thought he was John Barnes.
That's right, isn't it? Yeah, we signed. I've got a lovely friend.
He only lasted like a year, and they binned him.
Well,
The scout came over. The scout. This is really bad, actually, to be fair, because you know the Italians are bad about racism anyway. Like, but the scout came over and he obviously heard about John Barnes. Obviously a lot of stuff came out about John Barnes, like, you know, playing for Watford and that. And the scout came over and scouted him 6 months before we bought him, and then obviously went back and gave him like a rave rating, and they were like, yeah, okay, we'll get him in the next window. We signed him.
Well, I've got
they came back over and looked at the guy again and went, yeah, that's him there. We'll have him. It was Luther Blissett.
You know what? You're so right, because I've got a very good friend of mine, Claudia Brigoli, who, you know, big Inter fan. She is a big Inter fan, big Liverpool fan also. And she mentioned that ages and ages ago, about a couple of years ago. She said about maybe transfers and that. And she said we signed Luther Blissett, thinking that it was John Barnes years ago.
Crazy, man.
Luther Blissett, good God.
Hey, I like that mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at my one.
Oh, nice. I like that one as well.
Number one grand.
You know what, K-Mac? I've been on this show for months now, and I've been using some crappy old white one. I forgot I had the Liverpool one and weren't using it.
Well, yeah, let's go through some of these.
I've got to tell you something funny about Suarez as well, because someone wrote like, I loved him because he was like so competitive. I watched Suarez actually in person. The goalkeeper saved it, and he was claiming it was handball to the ref. You know the way he went into this crazy mode.
Yeah.
And he's like this to the referee, and the referee just went, he's a goalkeeper. Because the goalie saved it at the near post, and he was like, goal, it's handball. You know, he does that crazy thing. But yeah, anyway.
Well, I support the Azori, you know, I've always have done, you know, through my mum's side of the family. I'm just like Italian, and through my mum's family, and because my uncles and granddad, and, you know, I'm talking about great uncles as well, all supported two teams, Napoli, you know, or Inter. And he was saying about Sandro Mazzola. He was talking about him. And Sandro, he played for Inter Milan. And what had happened was, we beat them 3-1 at Anfield. And I was with me, one of my uncles who was up there. I was only a kid, you know, a young lad, young teenager. And went up with him. And he says, watch out for this lad. And I said, okay, who is he? And he said, Sandro Mazzola. I said, oh, okay, watch out for him. And he scored against us, actually, when we beat them 3-1. And he told me a story about him, that he was about to leave Inter Milan. He was going to be transferred. And I think it was to Juve. I'm not quite so sure now. Not quite so sure. But he was being transferred. And his family were held to ransom. And they said, wow, we will kill the family if he's transferred.
Well, that's
what like Italian football was like back in the day. Yeah. If you know, I think it's like that now. I'm not saying that at all. But anyway, John Barnes, Beardsley, Fowler were amazing, and Steven Gerrard, and the amazing Gerrard.
Do you ever notice the Mafia disappeared?
Yeah.
You want to know where they went?
Go on.
They went into pharmaceuticals.
Wouldn't surprise me.
They're all the families run all the pharmaceutical companies.
Wouldn't
They went into
surprise me.
pharmaceuticals
Wouldn't surprise.
because gangsters.
Yeah, well, I know that through the mafia, and I'm talking about Napoli, the Camorra, which is an offshoot of the mafia. It's like Jurgen Klopp saying to Pep Linders, "Listen, Pep, you take over the team for now, okay?" Yeah, again, you know, that gives
Well, like last year.
Yeah, but
Like last year.
it's like that. So the Camorra are, you know, still carrying on with the mafiosi business, shall we say? King Kenny says Soul Boy, Anfield Raw. Suarez was exceptional, but he did leave, so not for me. That's okay. Digger says Lisa. During that 87, 88 season. I don't know, you know.
How much did we get for Suarez? Wasn't it like 86 million or something?
Something mad like that.
But like for a player that was like banned for 6 months.
Suarez was good, but we didn't win the league that year, and we did with Barnes and Beardsley. Barnes and Beardsley were almost as good as each other in that team, but Barnes was just that little bit more exciting with his dribbling. Although Beardsley was exciting with his dribbling, putting it underneath players. I was 13 when we bought John Barnes, and I was 14 when we won the league or something then with that team. I'm watching that team standing on the cop and roaring that team or on the stand and cop. The songs were brilliant. Being 14 was brilliant. Going into school after we beat teams was brilliant, like the 5-0 against Forest. Going into school the next day was dead funny. The things we said and that and the stuff we talked about. So I can't not have Barnsley as my best. I'd seen Kenny playing, but Kenny was old and a bit fat by 86. 85, 86. He was old and a bit fat. He was still a brilliant player.
Didn't he score the winner for the league that year?
Yeah. Kenny was
even though he was like 38 or something.
Yeah, Kenny was in the double winning team that I watched it. But like I'd say the double winning team in 85, 86 was the first season where I understood football properly and I got right onto all the statistics and that. Before that, I was more interested still in playing out and toys and stuff as well, you know what I mean? Before that age.
Well, I'm going to ask the panel this. Kenny Dalglish, King Kenny, as he's known, he plays in a team full of world-class players, from goalkeeper to him, and everybody besides him, the back of him, and everything. Midfield, all world-class players, every one of them. How would he have been in, say, a Steven Gerrard team before Xavi, before Mascherano, before Torres came? How would he have fared there in that team? Would he have been like as great as he was? Anyone?
He'd have been even better, wouldn't he?
Do you reckon?
So what you're saying is, are you saying all the Liverpool team when Kenny was there had world-class players in?
All world-class players, yeah.
They weren't world-class.
I'd say
they weren't
were.
They weren't world-class.
Go on.
They weren't world-class. They were some of the best in England. But you still had your Maradonas and Platini and Beckenbauer, and you still had those guys.
Yeah.
Like they were, you could say they were world class. Like you still had some incredible players. Like you had back then. You had incredible players that played for like Russian teams and Yugoslavia. You know what I mean?
I've seen him. I've seen unbelievable.
Frank, what did I say to you about all the teams that knocked Bob Paisley's Liverpool out the European Cup were Eastern European? Aside from Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest, were the only side apart from Eastern European teams to do it. Nobody else knocked us out of Europe. Nobody. Only Eastern European, Soviet bloc sides.
Yeah. Well,
what we had though, what we had at Liverpool is something that not a lot of teams had. Is we just had an incredible work ethic and team bond. Like they just played so well together. Like, you know, and the football they played like under those managers was just way beyond what other teams were playing in our league. But some of the other teams were playing great football, like Real Madrid, and you know, you've got like what was it like Marseille back then, wasn't it? They weren't they like the biggest team in France and stuff like that.
Yes, they
you
were.
know, Red Star Belgrade. Exactly. Yeah.
Six,
Exactly.
Unbelievable. So, but we beat them.
But
this
if you
is the team that beat them. Bob Paisley won 3 European Cups. The only manager at the time to win 3 European Cups with the same club. No one else could do it. They were chopping and changing the managers, but he stayed with Liverpool. That's why when Kenny came in '77 after Keegan left, 78 and 78, and he was in. To me, Ray Clements was world-class goalkeeper. There was no one better than him. Shilton wasn't better than him.
Yeah, he was.
Phil Neal, right back. You know,
he wasn't classed as world-class worldwide, though, was he? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like we know that they are incredible players, but they weren't. Like if you put them in the FIFA teams, so to speak, they wouldn't be in there. Like there'd be other players in there, like Eusebio, and you know what I mean. Those kind of. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not dissing the Liverpool. I'm not dissing the Liverpool team by any means, like because.
But it makes no difference.
Incredible players.
You take Kenny Dalglish out of that side and put him in a different Liverpool side. Would he be the same player?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you took a Kenny out and stuck him in like a Real Madrid Galacticos, would Kenny be any better than Raul in that team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a Ronaldo.
Or
Ronaldo.
As you mentioned.
Exactly. Like, I mean,
Cruyff.
Kenny never went abroad either, did he?
No.
So you've only got a couple of players that went abroad. Ian Rush went abroad. John Aldridge went abroad. Did Beardsley go abroad? No, Keegan went abroad, didn't he? Keegan played in Germany, didn't he?
Hamburg, yeah.
Keegan. So you've only got a couple of players that actually went abroad from that team.
Bannerman.
And did they do well when they went abroad? Did they win titles when they went abroad?
Keegan did all right. He wasn't like
John Charles was the first one. Sorry, Frank, wasn't he? Was John Charles the first Brit to go abroad to Juventus? The Welshman, John Charles.
Didn't Toshak?
Yeah, Toshak went later. Charles was the 50s, I think.
It's a weird one. Like I'm not dissing Liverpool at all. I suppose I'm kind of playing devil's advocate in a way. You've got to have someone on the panel that's a bit devil advocate.
Yeah, the first team to win the European Cup when English clubs were banned was Steaua Bucharest. They beat Terry Venable's Barcelona on pens. I remember it well because I was gutted that we weren't in the final because we were in the final all the time when I was a kid. And watching the final without Liverpool in it was horrible. And then the next year, Porto and Bayern Munich was horrible. To see the final without us in it, it was just horrible. But I was only a kid, so you're a kid and life's good when you're a kid, innit? Like, but it wasn't good to see Liverpool banned from Europe. But we were good in the league. We had Barnes and Beardsley then after all that nonsense, and I was watching us win the league and that. So yeah, that's my best player was Barnesy in the flesh. Yeah.
Well, would you agree with?
The interesting thing about that as well is Barcelona got managed by a couple of English managers, didn't they?
Bobby, yeah.
Bobby as well.
Whoa, Bobby.
Well, look at
that.
Well, look at Roy Hodgson. You know, he was manager of Switzerland, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And we got him. And look, we were saying before
God.
came back who he signed, the likes of that Konchelski. Who else? Jovanovic, that's him.
Yeah.
Jovanovic.
He signed some Danish midfielder who was absolute garbage.
Olsen.
Oh God.
We had some rough times, man.
Joe Cole.
Yeah, Joe Cole.
Yeah.
And he said he regrets playing for us as well. He's like proper. Yeah, he said he regrets playing for Liverpool.
Did he sign Robbie Keane?
No.
Rafa did that, I think.
There was all the bad Roy Hodgson ones. Roy Hodgson's reasonably astute, but he's not a Liverpool manager. I mean, his head can swivel full the way around, and he shits rat pellets as well, doesn't he?
It was when he came in and he just paid too many. He paid too many other teams respect. Like when he did interviews, it sounded like he was okay with a draw or a defeat. He only lasted like 6 months, didn't he?
It was horrible.
Yes.
It was horrible, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Remember the Colchester? Was it a Colchester game? I think we were defeated at Anfield, and he said they played well. We weren't up to the fight. That's what he said, and it was a terrible, post-match interview.
Yeah.
It was. I think that was his downfall. To admit to Colchester beating Liverpool at Anfield.
God, the only thing I know Colchester for is there's an army prison there.
Yeah, there is. Came out. And,
I was in the army. I was in the army, so I know there's a prison there.
My uncle was in the Colchester garrison in Colchester.
That's the only thing I know Colchester for.
Yeah, garrison.
It's just, we've had some bad players, because some Chelsea lads, he said, I'm not a Chelsea fan, I'm an Arsenal fan. And he said, who's been the Liverpool worst player, And you should have heard them having a go. You should have seen the names that were coming out, absolutely. And every one of them were horrendous. When you forget names. Wow.
Who is the worst player you think that's ever been signed for Liverpool, like in your lifetime that you've maybe seen?
My lifetime. I'd say there's a few, but I'd have to say this Van Cosme. He was dreadful.
Did he even play?
If you're talking who's the worst player for a waste of money, then probably Carlyle or Kaiser. But if you're talking the worst player for having no skill, then possibly someone like who's the worst for having no skill. That Jean-Michel Ferry was bad.
God, I don't even remember him.
Yeah,
that's how bad he was.
It's Van Cosme, Keithner. At least Andy Carroll and Naby Keita showed flashes and he scored 1 or 2 goals, but they were a waste of money. There were others who were just sinfully bad, but only cost 2 bob. So you've got to say who's the worst for costing money and being a waste of money, or who's the worst for just being all out crap but only costing 2 bob. It's the thing.
I'm gonna ask Darryl here, and then go on just to pot shot. Who's the best player, in your opinion, who Liverpool have signed? The best, in your opinion?
The best we've signed?
Yeah.
Suarez for the money. He was cheap.
Okay. I think Lee would agree with that, and I think JK, am I right?
Yeah, Suarez. But also Coutinho. When you look at Coutinho, it cost 7 million, 8 million, and how much we sold him for.
Oh yeah.
I'd say Suarez and him,
he's close
for the waste of money
as well.
Well, I know something about that. I know something about that transfer from Inter, right? And it was Rodgers, and it was Rafa who phoned Stevie up, and he said, "Get this kid. He wants to leave. He doesn't like it in Italy, and he'd like to try the Premiership." And he said, who is it? He said, a little lad called Coutinho, he's a Brazilian, and he's excellent. And anyway, Stevie went to, through this, Stevie went to Rodgers and he said, I don't want him, who's he? I've never heard of him. And he mentioned some mad name he wanted, someone stupid. I'm not saying Balotelli.
Did they play for Southampton?
I don't know, I forget. But he mentioned him and he said, no, we're going to sign him. And he said, no, sign this fella. Just sign him. Anyway, we signed him. And, you know, only for Steven Gerrard, Philly Coutinho would never have played for Liverpool.
We probably have never won a title
No.
In the 30 years if it wasn't for Coutinho, because he funded Klopp's title winning team. I will back up Andy Carroll though, by the way, because I watched him in the FA Cup. Was it the FA Cup or League Cup final against Man City? Against Chelsea. We lost, but Andy Carroll was
superb. Scored a header.
Yeah, if there was VAR, that goal would have been given as well, because scooped it out of the net.
Yeah, it would have been given.
And that would have been Carroll's two goals for Carroll. He was really good in that game.
Against City. Do you ever remember the goal he scored against City? He just wellied it with his left. And he had that joke, whatever, forget his name.
We got ripped off for him and Keita, but like he did have something, you know, just it was a bad move. But we've had some tragic players though. I'm trying to think who is the absolute worst, who you just laughed at when you saw them on the pitch.
Did Kenny Dalglish sign Suarez? Was Kenny in charge when Suarez got signed?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he bought
Jesus
Suarez.
Christ, honestly, Kenny just couldn't do anything wrong, could he? You know what I mean? He was with us a year. He was with us a year, and he signed Suarez.
Ricky Lambert's got to be one of the worst strikers we've ever had.
You know what? I was sitting here the other day ruminating on life's vicissitudes, and I thought, if only he bought Suarez but didn't buy Carroll, if only he bought Suarez and spent that Carroll money on a centre-back and a central midfielder and just didn't buy another striker.
I'd like us to discuss this, lads, and it's from Lisa.
I've got a really good shout for worst player, by the way.
Go on.
El Hadj.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who,
you know why I hate him so much. Not only because he's just a scumbag, and he was crap,
absolutely,
and he was crap. We never signed Anelka because of him.
That's right. Anelka was brilliant.
Amazing.
He was talking about Jari Littmanen, and Houllier wouldn't play Jari Littmanen for some bloody reason. But getting back to this, if we weren't banned for 5 years between 85 and 90, would we have won a lot more European Cups?
Well, we'd beat now Bucharest, and we'd beat Porto in 87. No problem.
Yeah, we would have got another 2, I think.
Yeah, probably would have got another 2 or 3. Yeah.
What about you, JK? Was we have won a lot more?
Yeah, of course. When they had a good team them days, so they definitely would have. But you can see like later on how VAR and the referees have been treating us. The same sort of anti-Liverpool scenario always pops up, no matter what time it is, you know.
Well, the rest accused us of Heysel, didn't he? We didn't actually lose the game because it weren't a pen. It's that simple.
I was there. Heysel was there.
I still find that insane that we got kicked out of Europe because a wall collapsed. Like a wall collapsed.
Yeah, and they started the trouble. They were put in our end, K-Mac. They had their own end, the Juventus fans, and they were put in our end with a little bit of wire to separate 2 sets of
But the police left. We've seen the police leaving. They just walked down through that aisle, between the wire mesh that separated both fans, and they walked away. We were saying, what are they walking away for? Because they knew what was going to happen.
Well, the
and the bombs were coming over at us, and the flares. They were coming over on our side.
Yeah, but the whole football situation in them days, it sort of went in tangent with the way Thatcher was treating Liverpool anyway. So they had an excuse. Look how they behave, these guys. So
Well,
I
we'd
thought it
never
was all
been in
sort of
trouble
pre-planned.
before. Liverpool fans had never been known for fighting ever. The year before, we got battered trying to get out of Roma's stadium to the coaches. I think about 3 dozen Liverpool fans were slashed it with bottles, bricks and that on the head trying to get out to the coach. They had blood all over them and that. Some of them had to get sewed up. It was Italians who done it. And then the next year they start. Sorry, Frank, I know you. You know I'm not having a go with Italians.
No, I know you. No, because we were
Italian
there.
football fans who done it. And then the next year they got put in our end with nothing separating us, and they started throwing stuff at us and going like that. And some of our fans reacted, and that happened. The wall fell down. They didn't get banned. We got banned.
There was a big banner right across the, their end, the Italian end, Juve's end, and it was right across. I don't know whether anyone ever seen it. We were looking, and someone said to me, who's next, said to me, "What does that mean?" And it was Animali Rosso. I said, "Red animals," and that was already made. It wasn't just done there and then. And then I don't know whether you've seen it on the telly or what. I don't know. But you had this fella coming on with his black and white scarf. These are the ultras, by the way, because we were all right with the ordinary Italians.
Yeah.
During the day, they were great. Yeah, so, because io parlo lingua italiano molto bene, I speak Italian. And you seen this lad with his red black and white scarf around his thing, baseball cap, and he had a gun.
The gun.
On the field.
Yeah.
And that's what they were. They were the ultras. Now, nothing against Man United here, but they're known. Juve are looked at like the way Manchester United were looked at in this country. They just didn't like them at all, if you know what I mean. And so they weren't like the Juve supporters. They just weren't like, the club wasn't liked at all. Whether it's changed today, I don't know. But when we played them, they weren't liked at all. And it was shocking. And yes, you're right about, the wire mesh coming down and, we were getting pelted with everything. It's not that I ran up with them, you know what I mean? They just ran up, or the supporters say, "Well, come on, if you want to fight." And the old crowd, it wasn't our supporters, it was their own supporters that, went back into that corner and just collapsed. It was shocking. We didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was happening.
Well, they got the fight they wanted, didn't they? Like, nobody wanted the wall to fall over, but it did. But they caused
no one wanted it. We didn't want the fight. They didn't want it.
No. We didn't cause it. We didn't cause the wall to fall over. They caused it. They should have got banned for killing themselves. But really, to be honest, they killed themselves.
Yeah, but
didn't do it. They did it. They started the fight. The wall fell.
They needed a scapegoat.
Yeah, but it was the way the law looked at it. If the fans, Liverpool fans, didn't go over to their side of the pen, and they just went up into a corner, the corner should never have collapsed anyway.
You went because the ground was in our end of the ground. That was
it was structurally unsafe, wasn't it? But
yeah, it was.
A lot of the grounds back then were structurally unsafe. The weird thing about it as well, and this is completely off topic. Liverpool seem to inadvertently have a hand in changing all the grounds, like the way football's viewed, the way football's watched, the way football's stadiums. Like, it all changed because of Liverpool, basically. Like, the situations that we were in. Like, they stopped penning people in stadiums. They stopped standing. Stadiums went all-seater after the incidents that have happened with Liverpool. In a weird way, we've kind of like shaped the way football is as well. And even our manager now has shaped the way football is as well, with like more substitutions, a winter break. Bit weird, isn't it?
But if you look at about the banning of what Lisa mentioned there before, and all the English clubs. Everybody blames Liverpool, especially the Everton fans, blaming Liverpool for banning them, getting them banned. It wasn't Liverpool at all. And I'll tell you who it was Margaret Thatcher. Because Margaret Thatcher hated football. She couldn't do nothing with the Scottish FA. So what she said was, instead of just banning Liverpool, ban all the English clubs as well. And they did.
Well, there was a reason. All the other English clubs have been fighting regularly. Liverpool hadn't. All the other English clubs have been fighting on the regular in Europe because their teams were crap and never won anything. Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, Leeds, others were all fighting on the regular on the continent. Liverpool had never done it once because we were always winning. Where was it going to go? And this victim thing nowadays with that, always the victims, it's never your fault. Well, it wasn't our fault at Heysel, mate. And Hillsborough certainly wasn't our fault. I get it all. I ignore it these days, but sometimes you get it online. Always the victims, you know, like from Man United fans.
Oh.
There's one
you can spell,
game. But I like to talk them up on it. Sometimes I get vituperative, if you know what that word means. It means vituperative, a sustained attack. It was a class-based attack on him because he was calling me a victim and a dosser as a scouser. So I started calling him Little Lord Fauntleroy and stuff like that. And he shut up and went away. But he can spell and punctuate, and his syntax isn't bad. But I got vituperative and launched into a class-based assault on this imbecile for a laugh. And he went away for a while. Now I don't even bother, but they mold the victim thing into the Heysel thing and think that it's lamentably platitudinous codswallop. It's tautology. It's tautological nonsense. It's bollocks. There you go.
A lot of people don't actually know like what really happened. They don't know the history. They don't actually know the facts.
No.
They just regurgitate the shite.
Yeah, without knowing the fact.
Like some of the clubs, like do you remember when we played Luton and they started chanting all the tragedy chanting all the way through the game, and he's just like I've got a mate who's a Luton fan, and he goes to the game and he was just like, it was just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was just like you just don't need to be like that. And because that club is like really tight knit, like you could hear it like really bad. Like all the way through on the commentary. I know we were shit that night, but
I don't mind the bin dipper one because I'll have a laugh and then say, you know, what rarefied air do you come from then? You know what I mean?
The Steven Gerrard one makes me laugh because he doesn't even play for the club. You know what I mean? You get the Man City fans chanting it and you're like, why are you chanting that? It's weird.
How about this? Kenny gets the nods over Klopp for me. I think it's because he won a double. Kenny won the double.
He's a bit old for the job, isn't he? He's a bit old for the job, taking over from Klopp.
I can't.
I mean, to be fair, he'll probably win like a couple of cups as well. Like if he took over for a season, because he does the legends still. He manages the legends, doesn't he? So he could probably still do a team talk.
Okay, Mac. I've just had a text come through, an alert on my phone, saying apparently Leverkusen have already replaced Alonso with Lapatoggi, what his name is.
Oh, Lapatoggi, he went over to Saudi Arabia, didn't he?
Yeah, apparently they've got him to replace Alonso. Agreed.
Yeah, I've heard as well that we've offered Alonso the job. Like we've actually offered him it now, so it's up to him now.
So they're all saying hello to you, K-Mac. Camino Pella says, K-Mac, Red Bears, listen up, mate. Daz, oh, that's lovely, that. They're all on here. But listen, getting back to this fella, Mark Simon says, Bastian Schweinsteiger, who played alongside and is great friends with Xabi Alonso, said it is Xabi's great dream to coach at Liverpool FC in his interview with Ard publication So it's up to FSG now. What do you think?
I mean, for me, like he did an interview in, I think it was 2018, and they asked him like, because he was doing his coaching badges, and they asked him like, when you become a manager, blah 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 blah, would you love to manage Liverpool? And he said like I couldn't turn them down, like I couldn't turn them down if they came, if they asked me. Like it'd be a dream of mine. This is like 2018. You can find the clip, like it's on
Yeah.
it's on YouTube somewhere. Like there's the actual audio because he talks about it, and then he also did an interview with Jamie Carragher. Have you ever watched that one about
No.
about tactics and playing for Pep Guardiola and
I watched
managers
that
like
one.
that?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like a year back. I think it's like 2 years old.
Yeah, I thought it was more recent when I started.
I thought it was.
Yeah,
it was on Retro, wasn't it? It was on like Sky Sports Retro. But I was listening to it and I was just like, oh my God, this guy's got to be our manager. Like he just talks. He knows his shit. Like he absolutely knows his shit. Like, and he knows how to talk to players. He knows how to manage players. He was like talking about the nuances in the game. He was talking about what he learned from Mourinho, what he's learned from Pep Guardiola. And you just like, my God, imagine getting someone who's like amalgamated all of those managers' teachings into themselves, and he's already this good on his first job. I mean, the thing about it as well is I did a show on GTV last night, and we talked about Gapco, and then we kind of went on to Alonso as well because Gapco might play for Alonso, and we talked about Alonso, and we ended up doing like a bit of an Alonso loving. And did you know about what he did with Real Sociedad before he went to Bayer Leverkusen? Because I don't think a lot of people know about what he did. So basically, he had like Pep Guardiola with the Barcelona B team, yeah. So he managed that, and then he obviously moved up into the Barca team, and then just went on to greatness. Xabi Alonso was managing the Real Sociedad B team, and this was full of kids. And he won the B League because Spain have like a Premier and then a B League, and they have reserve teams in the B Leagues. That's how they play. I think Italy do it as well, but you can't get promoted if your main team is in the league above you, if that makes sense. So if we've got Liverpool in like the champion, like Liverpool reserves in the Championship, yeah, and Liverpool reserves win the Championship, but Liverpool are in the Premier League, they can't get promoted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso won the B League with Real Sociedad kids, and he was beating men's teams because there was loads of men's teams in there, but there was obviously like there was other reserve teams in there as well. But he won that league with kids, and he absolutely annihilated all the teams in there. And he could have got the pick of any team in Europe, including about 5 or 6 Premier League teams that were in like the bottom half. Could have gone anywhere, like seriously. And Tim Steedman, who's the guy who's the director of football at West Ham, who was the director of football at Bayer Leverkusen, approached him and said, "Would you like to manage Bayer Leverkusen? We're a Moneyball team." And literally Alonso was like, "I need to look at your reserves. Like I need to look at your youth team system." And then he looked at all the players that were coming through, like your Verts and all of those kind of guys. There's loads of others as well, like Hinapache. They were like 20, 19 years old. Some of these, like, and he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he was like, "I feel like this is a team that could challenge your Leipzig, your Dortmunds, and your Bayern Munich's. Like, I feel like I could challenge them." And they were like, "We're just happy for you to stop us from getting relegated because we're 17th and we're going to go down." And he was like, no. He goes, "I can challenge these." And then he came 6th that season. Like, you know what I mean? And he played the same team that the guy was in 17th with. You know, a bit like the Aston Villa manager who came in and basically had Steven Gerrard's team. Like Steven Gerrard probably would have gotten relegated. You know, the other guy went on like a mad unbeaten run for God knows how long. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of guy.
K-Mac, what do you think if we didn't get Xavi and we brought someone else in? Do you think that Liverpool could go on the wane, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even if we got I said this last night as well, and people were like, no, we should be winning the league or coming like second or third with our squad. It might not be that easy. You know, we might get Xavi, and Xavi might turn around. He might turn around and go, you know what? There's like 6 or 7 players I don't want. Like he could literally come in and go, you know what? This guy's not going to work for me. You know, Gakpo's not going to work. Gravenberch isn't going to work. You know, maybe I can't get Nunez to do what he does. Like he might get rid of quite a few players, and he might get rid of Salah, and he might get rid of Trent. Like seriously, like. But I am starting to read as well that FSG are gonna give him a war chest. Like that's been on a couple of the newspapers. Like FSG have promised a new manager.
But they always promise.
Well, it's going to be
and discuss these.
Yeah, it'll be 100 million. It'll be 100 million. Like
okay,
you get 100 million.
Let me just. There's 3 things, and I think it's all 4 of them, and I think it's really important, so we can discuss these. And Redbird
if you didn't want Xavi, who would you want, guys? Like, I'd love to know other people's thoughts on that.
No,
as well.
I just want him. I just want him. Yeah, there's no other. There's no other who can come there for me. I'd go mad if he never got this job. And Redbird says, just let me go through three of them. Does anyone think FSG knew Klopp was leaving in the summer? Let me go through the 3 of them and then discuss. Does anyone think FSG knew Klopp was leaving in the summer and they contacted Alonso prior to Klopp's interview? Some conspiracy theories turn out to be true, right? As the other one. Would love Xavi to get us, knows the Prem, what speed and tempo was needed, knows the club. For me, even though he's young, is a seamless fit for LFC. And Anfield Road. What I think is exciting with Alonso is a front foot coach. Try and say that when you're tired. And that's our way of attack, not mid-block or counter-attack. The man is attack and tactical genius. And just end on this one. And Derek Sellat, Redbird, we know FSG can be sneaky. Go ahead, anyone.
Well, we know FSG can be sneaky because they sacked they sacked Rodgers in the middle of a game. And he had to do an interview afterwards. And we knew he'd gone. Like that was in the papers, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
You know when he should have been sacked, okay, man? Rodgers, that is.
Yeah.
I always remember this is Liverpool Football Club, 5 times winner of the Champions League, 5 times. And we played Basel at Anfield, Basel in the Champions League. And we went out to them, albeit we drew 1-1. And he took Lambert. He took Lambert. Lambert started the game half time. He was only our striker, centre forward, and he took him off. We were there. We said, "What's it?" You know, all the expletives flying and everything. He should have been sacked then. Rodgers. I've never liked that man. Anyway, that's me.
I remember then Basel beating us like years ago under Houllier, yeah. It wasn't when we had Rodgers, it was under Houllier. He beat us in a meaningful way, and that's how I remember them mostly. Do you remember that? When Basel beat us, when we had Barros and everyone.
Barros.
Yeah. It's Ball, isn't it? You pronounce it Ball, but when people say Basel, I always hear Sybil Fawlty going, Basel! Basel!
I think Rodgers had that was down as here, Basel.
Yeah, Houllier lost to some shit team sometimes.
Oh, didn't he? Didn't he, mate? In Europe, he lost to some poor teams.
I know,
Remember the Leverkusen team we lost to with that Carsten Ramelow? Remember him? That big lanky midfielder with the white hair, Carsten Ramelow.
And that Luceo. I hated him.
Oh God! Whenever we got Benfica, I was like, oh God. when we used to get Benfica all the time with Houllier and Rafa.
Well, also after winning the European Cup, didn't they?
And Rafa as well.
The following season.
We got Benfica with Rafa as well, and that bloody strike, that right winger always scored against us.
Cordoba, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
he
always
scored
these international.
I was talking about was the following season.
Simiao, wasn't it? Simiao always bloody scored.
No, he was a swine him somehow.
Yeah, he was. What was the question again? What was the question again, Frank?
No, what did you think of Rafa? What did you think of him? Be honest.
I felt like Fergie and Wenger got under his skin too much, and he'd lose it against them. Like he'd have like you could tell like the night before the game he didn't sleep, and like his wife's probably like, calm down, like how did he say?
Like a Kevin Keegan type.
Yeah, he'd be like, relax, it's a fact, the fact. Quality.
And the time, remember when he went on about the time and the referees?
Yeah.
During that interview. Oh, that was shocking, wasn't it?
He lost it a few times, didn't he? But
he was a great manager.
He got us to 2 Champions League finals.
Exactly.
Right.
Second, he won the FA Cup. You know, during that 4-year period, winning the Champions League, then winning the FA Cup, getting to a Champions League final again, coming second to Man United. You know, there was just too many draws at Anfield, unfortunately. And then he was gone.
You know, one of the worst phrases I've ever heard out of a Liverpool official's mouth was Rick Parry when just before we sold the club to Hicks and Gillette, Rick Parry said, "You can only sell the family silver once. We've got to pick the right people," and they picked Hicks and Gillette.
I'll tell you who picked Hicks and Gillette. I was on LFC TV, and we were doing a documentary, and there was John Keith. He was fronting it. Yeah. There was Tommy Smith. There was this fella from. He was old by then, you know. He was a journalist from the Daily Express, and he was a young man then. This is when we got cheated by Inter Milan in the San Siro, right, 3-0 with the referee. He was bought off, as we all know, right. Now Tommy Smith told me this, and John Keith was sitting there. I was looking at John Keith. And John Keith was nodding his head, because what Tommy was saying, he said it wasn't Rick Parry that sold it to them. It was Moores himself, David Moores.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And he spit his dummy out because Rick Parry was flown over from John Lennon, speak then, over to Dubai or wherever he went to the Sheikh's Palace, Sheikh Maktoum's palace, and he was saying, "We want you to dot the I's," and he said, "What about Mr. Chairman? This is Rick Parry," and he said, "Well, you know, he doesn't really count now, but we need you to cross the T's and dot the I's." So anyway, he flew over with his wife, and the other fellow was looking for him, David. And he couldn't get hold of him. He finally got hold of him. He said, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm at the palace." He said, "Well, what do you mean? What about me?" He said, "Well, you know, you're just in name now. You don't mean anything." And they were coming over on the Sunday to sign for Liverpool, you know, by the club on the Monday. And the other fella, Moore's got hold of Hicks. No, it wasn't Hicks. It was Gillette. And he said, "Do you still want to buy the club?" He said, "Can I bring a partner in?" And he said, "Yeah, bring whoever you like in." And he said, "Well, what about DIC?" He said, "Do you want to buy the club? I'm asking you, do you want to buy them?" And he said, "Just offer." And it was fax then. Fax, FAX. He said, "Fax me the offer." He told him what to offer. He offered it. And he sold the club. So it wasn't Rick Parry. And he said to Rick Parry, "Get over here or you're out of a job. And I want you here by Friday." He said, "Well, it's Thursday." He said, "Well, I want you here right away. Get over." And he had to leave. And he never said anything to the Sheikh Maktoum's family. And he had to leave. He said, "I've got to get back to the chairman." And he went back. And do you know how they found out that Liverpool had sold to Hicks and Gillette? Through ticker tape on Sky Sports. Came up, Liverpool sold the club to.
What a way to find out. A bit of ticker tape on the telly screen. That's great, isn't it?
None of the fans knew about them. Like,
No.
None of the fans knew about them. They
It
came
was
from nowhere.
That's what somebody. John Keefe was not. I said to him, he says, "Yeah, it's true that."
Well, I feel sorry for Rick Parry then, because when I heard them words that he'd said, I thought, "You tool." But if it weren't his fault, then if it was David Moores who was behind the sale and Rick Parry had no say, then I feel sorry for Rick Parry having to come out and say that publicly when David Moores.
Tommy Smith said, "No, David's my mate." He said, and I questioned, "Why did you sell it to them?" And he went, "Just one of those things." And it was, Rick Parry did say, and this is before the sale, by the way, "We've got to sell it to the right, this is the silver. We've got to sell it to the right owners who will take care of the silver." That's what he said.
He couldn't have made a worse choice.
Well, he tainted his legacy, didn't he, because of that? Like, a lot of the Liverpool fans turned against Moores after that.
Yeah, I was on the steps of St George's Hall when we were demonstrating to get them Cowboys out.
They were Cowboys. They were Cowboys, weren't they? They were from Texas, weren't they?
Yeah, they were proper Cowboys and cheat.
Hicks gave me ticks. Gillette made me sweat.
Yeah.
Do you think as well, though? Do you think if FSG wouldn't have come along, we'd have still been bought by someone else? Because there was other people.
DIC wanted to buy us.
Who were they? Those you buy, Hardy?
Sorry?
Is that you buy DIC, is it?
Yeah, DIC, yeah. Well, Sheikh Maktoum owned the owner of the franchise. See, Sheikh Maktoum said, "I will." Remember, we were going to build a new ground, and he was going to buy it then, the ground, for 300 million out of his own money. He was going to buy Liverpool a new ground out of his own money. 300 million. That's what he was quoted. He said, "But just build it," and that's what he was going to do.
Yeah. They love us, mate. We've always had loads of fans over there from years ago. It's just a fact.
Well, his two nephews are season tickets. I don't know whether they still are, but I knew they were even after the deal fell through. They were season ticket holders at Anfield.
Mate, no one even knows who Man City or Newcastle are over there. They never did.
No.
Well, Man City's owners only been to one game, and that was the Champions League final. And that was because it was at PSG, who he also owns.
Yeah.
How much did we get sold for to Hicks and Gillette? It wasn't like 300 million, was it?
Well, it was just below 300 million. I think it was 280 million.
Was it?
Yeah.
No,
and they borrowed the money to fucking buy it. They borrowed the money to buy it.
Yeah.
And Liverpool paid it back, so they bought it for nothing.
Yeah.
This is what people don't understand.
Yeah.
They borrowed the money to buy Liverpool. I could have bought it and done the same.
Well, it's like one of those £1 mortgages, isn't it?
Yeah.
They used to do.
Even the Royal Bank of Scotland, they didn't give a toss if no one bought it because the money, the collateral, and everything else was in their bank, and they were making millions. Liverpool would never have gone into administration.
No.
They had too much collateral, too much, millions. They would never have gone into administration, and that was the spin. Oh, they're going into administration. And you're getting fans saying, "Oh, these are great. These, they saved us from." They fucking didn't.
Yeah.
It knocks me sick.
The money just kept going. What they borrowed, the money just kept going up and up.
Of course
and
it did. Sorry to swear there, boys. I really am.
That's right. You woke us up a little bit, but
I'm sorry.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good chatting with you guys. Right, I'm going to shoot now. Okay, but I just wanted to
You
jump
go.
on for a bit because.
Yeah, because I swore, wasn't it? Because I
See
swore.
you later, man. I took us down a bit of a dark alley there. Sorry, guys.
No, you're all right.
See you later, man.
See you later.
yeah, mate.
See you later.
Oh, that was great, though. Thanks, K-Mac. You're a good man. So, we land on this, okay. We land on this. Don't forget JK and Lee. What are you doing tomorrow?
Film review.
Yeah. What time?
10:30.
Yes. You ready for that, JK?
Yeah, that's on, bro.
I'm ready.
Okay. I just wanted these last two questions. Arthur Schofield. Right? Hi, fellas. Sorry, late comment. Just remember, Xavi took them youngsters from the bottom of their league to the top in his first attempt. That's what we spoke about, Arthur, before. That's what we spoke about. And get on to this. Oh, I've got to say hello to Ali Noose before. Our Romanian friend. Hello, Ali. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. And right, I'm going to go straight to JK. Frank, question for the panel. Did you cry when Dalglish was sacked? JK.
I was just a little bit disappointed the respect shown to him, and I think that was the change in football around that time, where the respect thing wasn't really. It's like I've seen people being thankful to Salah in the last few weeks, who hasn't been playing for us and stuff, and I'm thinking like even Hendo, 9 years. How many years was he at the club? Hendo, 12. A long time. So he wasn't even getting thanked. So that's just the way football is now, Frank. But I was really disappointed when Dalglish got sacked. I was thinking, hey, what's going on here,
Well,
if I'm honest, at the time, I never really saw it as a sacking because Kenny just come in to steady the ship, didn't he? After Hodgson, who was panned, and Kenny come in just to steady the ship. He weren't coming back for the long term. He was coming back. No. He was asked to come back and steady the ship until they got someone in, and that's what he did. It weren't like they sacked him and said, "You go away, you're no good." He said, "Come in and steady the ship," and he did that, didn't he?
He did it very well as well. What about you, Darryl? Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry.
No, I didn't.
I cried. The only time I've cried is when Klopp announced he's going. That's the only time I cried.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been great tonight. It really has. We've had loads of people looking at us apparently. And I got 3 likes.
Nice.
But anyway,
I'm going 6-0 Saturday.
That's what I was going to ask K-Mac, because who is back 4 would be. But I'll ask JK, who's your back 4?
I would go Kwanzaa with Virgil, with, say, Trent. The thing is, I want to play Trent in midfield for one game, So, but I'll go with Trent and Gomez left back.
Okay. Lee, back 4.
I'll go Gomez, Quansah, Virgil, and Robbo.
Okay. Darryl?
Van Dijk, Quansah, Gomez, and Robbo. Yeah, probably same as Lee.
TK, midfield.
Darryl? Who did you say, Frank? Me? JK. Midfield, I'll go with Endo, McAllister, Trent. If I don't put him at right back. Yep.
Okay. Lee?
I'm having 4 in midfield, even though he probably won't do it. I'm going 4-4-2, so I'm having Trent right wing, McAllister and Endo central midfields, and Diaz left wing.
What about you, Darryl?
Yeah, definitely McAllister, Endo, Trent.
Yeah, well, what about you? You're leaving out Curtis Jones, yeah? Okay.
There's no sub. Ryan was pants, wasn't he, at Arsenal, Gravenberch. So I'm looking at him just playing Endo and McAllister in the middle, and maybe play Trent wise and Diaz wise, trying it Jota and Nunes with the old crosses.
Yeah, Curtis.
Okay, so stay with your front three then, saying that you mentioned them. So, Leg, go on, your front three.
Well, there's only 2 of them. It's Jota and Nunes, because I'm playing 4 in midfield.
Okay. JK.
Yeah, just when you got Diaz, Jota, and Darwin, I think I like to see Klopp mix it up a little bit sometimes. You know, like Lee, you saying 4-4-2. Why not? You know, just like mix it up a little bit. Play Trent in midfield. You know, just give it a go. I think Burnley's the perfect.
I agree with you. You know, to be honest, because I'd like to see Trent in midfield.
It sounds sorry,
but I see Klopp is very stubborn, and I think he'll play. You know, the 4-4-3. I really do.
I think
the
4-3-3. An extra player. Got the extra player.
I think the 4-4-2 sounds nice and tight, and it could be usable against Man City when they come to town.
Yeah.
But he doesn't try, he doesn't experiment at all. He just rather bring on the subs, if you know what I mean. So that's why I think he'll have Trent at right back, he'll have Gomez at left back, and Quansah should be there, along with the Verge. Really believe that, unless he brings in Gomez at centre to partner Virgil and bring Robertson back in at left back. And this is, you know, he will stick to his back four. Then his midfield, he'll be safe with. I don't know whether Enzo will be playing because he's just got back from that, you know, tournament, the Asian tournament. So he mightn't play. So I think I'll go along with. I don't like to sell it, you know, I really don't, but I think he might play him and Jones and McAllister.
That's why I'm saying 4-4-2. In the 4-4-2, there's less positions he can try and squeeze Elliott into.
No.
Same with bloody Gravenberch. Don't want to see him.
No.
Playing crap.
No.
And I don't think he'll play Jota this weekend either.
No, I would. I'd play him up front.
You got to play Jota.
I think he'll rest him. I think he'll play Gakpo, Nunes, and Diaz, doesn't he?
Okay.
I think he'll.
I think Nunes will be. I think he'll be rested, you know, because of his foot, so-called foot. You know, the little injury there. So we might be rested on that particular score. And I think Gakpo will be playing. Salah might get a game.
As long as Gravenberch don't play, I'll be happy.
Say that again, Darrell.
As long as Gravenberch ain't playing, I'll be happy.
Okay. Well, anyway, that was that the ref? Phil Neal kicked up the backside, says Derek Sarah. No, it was Tommy Smith who kicked him. That was the Inter game after the 3-0 defeat. Just robbed. Great show, Frank, says Paul Turner. Always good. Good night. Best to you and the panel. That's nice. Thank you so much, Paul. Ian McCain. Great show tonight, lads. Thanks. And cheers, boys, says TW. Great show again. You'll never walk alone. Thank you so much, boys and girls. Hopefully, I'll see you all. I might be having a pod on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be up for it.
But I don't know whether it'll be before, post, pre or post. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that all right with you, Lee?
Yeah.
Is that all right with you, JK?
Yeah, that's fine, bro.
Saturday. And tomorrow morning, TV and film review.
Yeah. Frank, I threw my phone number on your Facebook Messenger.
I know, I've seen it.
So.
Frank, can I ask you a question quick before we go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really, really want us, if you can, to do a pod or something on Charles Bronson one, if we can.
On who?
Charlie Bronson.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
The actor.
Bronson or that idiot criminal fella?
Criminal one.
All right.
Criminal fella.
I like him a bit. Like he was thick, like, but he was interesting, like thick.
I want to know why he's not out after why he's still not out after 40 odd years.
He robbed a post office on the Whittle. He come up with an idea, and I think he come up with an idea or rob a post office and got sent to jail for life or something.
But he was a lunatic.
Yeah, he's thick as two short planks, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's an amazing artist, though, mate. I'll tell you now.
I know, yeah. I think in jail he's less thick now because he's read a few books and drew some pictures, hasn't he?
Whether we win by 1 goal or 10, get 3 points, and I will be happy. Thanks, guys.
We need to get this goal difference back up. Got to win big.
And Mark Simon says, what happened to Valies, Frank? Does she still comment? No, she doesn't comment. She doesn't comment, unfortunately.
We'll leave that.
Anyway, it's thanks to all the lads out there. Thank you so much. Thanks to Darrell. Thanks to JK. Thanks for getting in. All right, it's a little bit late, but it was great to see you again. And to Lee. And also to, a late uncomer. And that was K-Mac Channel. K-Mac. I think he's good, I really do. And he throws little winds-ups in. Have you noticed that? It's like reading the Agatha Christie book, and you're getting little red flags and red herrings, and this is what it's all about. And he throws in a few little red flags, and a bit of spin, bit of wind-up. Definitely. But I just want to say thank you to all of the people out there for tuning in. Hopefully, I'll see you all Saturday, but I don't know whether it'll be pre or post match. And for all you film lovers and TV series and everything else, thank you for joining, and see you tomorrow morning.
Just send us a message.
Thank you so much, lads. Thank you. Really appreciate it. See you in the morning, boys.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.